Welcome to the Joliet Junior College Board of Trustees meeting on Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. At this time, I'd like to call to order, and I'm asking for a roll call, please.
Trustee Bottomley.
Here.
Trustee Broderick.
Present.
Trustee Garcia again.
Present.
Trustee Harris.
Present.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Present.
Trustee McCullum.
Present.
Trustee Budzinski.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 1.1.3, I'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1.2, Communications, Robin Beller.
Good evening, Chairman Budzinski, trustees of the board, and the JJC community. I'm pleased to introduce Katie LeClaire, CEO of the Greater Joliet Area YMCA, and Brooke Hall, Executive Director of the Joliet Community YMCA. Over the past few years, we've been building a strong partnership centered on expanding opportunities for youth and families across our community. From hosting YMCA programs on our campus to creating new ways for young people to connect with JJC, this work reflects the shared commitment to access, belonging, and community impact. I would be remiss not to mention Dr. Namuo's deep connections with this partnership, both through his service on the YMCA and his love of basketball. I think some of us still remember last year's staff and coaches versus campers game, which was a pretty great example of what partnership looks like in live action. We will not talk about the score. Katie and Brooke are here to share more about this partnership and where it's headed. Please join me in welcoming them.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. As was mentioned, I'm Katie LeClaire. I'm president and CEO of the Greater Joliet Area YMCA, and we are so pleased to be here with you all today. We are excited to share some highlights of the incredible work that's happened since the YMCA's partnership with Joliet Junior College really formalized last February. The reality of today's landscape is that community truly happens everywhere. It's not defined by any specific four walls. It's defined by where we show up together. And thanks to the incredible leadership and shared vision of the team at JJC, we have built an incredibly innovative model centered right here on this beautiful campus. At the Y, we're celebrating our centennial anniversary this year, and we know that we are stronger today because of yesterday. But we are not walking in this historic path alone. As we honor our 100 years of service to the community, we are incredibly proud to stand alongside Joliet Junior College as you celebrate your 125th anniversary. JJC's beautiful theme, A History of Thinking Forward, perfectly reflects its legacy as the nation's first community college. Together, our organizations represent 225 years of combined dedication to the families of JJC's districts. By blending our deep roots with a forward-thinking vision, we are ensuring that our rich history continues to thrive and to fuel modern, life-changing opportunities for the next generation. If you visit the JJC Event Center today, you'll find our Joliet Community YMCA team hard at work bringing together innovative pathways for future students to learn each and every day. It is my incredible honor to introduce Brooke Hall, the Executive Director of our Joliet Community YMCA, to share more about the impact that we're having together.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So at the Y, youth development is our core priority. We want to eliminate the economic and geographic barriers that keep kids from reaching their fullest potential. Through this partnership, children in our community are getting their very first hands-on experience on a college campus. We are making higher education feel familiar, welcoming, and within reach before they even finish grade school. Just look at what we're building with our Junior Wolves youth sports program. Throughout the year, the local kids are playing on premier collegiate level spaces. Our youth soccer programs happen in the indoor turf fields. In the spring, summer, and fall, we have our flag football leagues and our sideline dance programs that take place on the outdoor fields. Our winter and summer youth basketball league brings hundreds of kindergarten through 8th grade students and their families straight to the event center, giving them the professional style league experience right in their home community college districts. Children in these leagues come from Morris, Plainfield, Minooka, Joliet, Shanahan, and the surrounding communities. We have had a total of 135 games and practices at JJC. Our estimated attendance is over 4,500 participants and spectators, 23 volunteer coaches, and over 35 families have attended our Family Day at the men's and women's basketball game event. In addition, we have collaborated on several sports camps and clinics as well. We have a youth basketball players clinic led by JJC staff and student athletes, and we had almost 100 Y athletes at that event. We have our first ever referee clinic was here at JJC, and that was led by our patched referees, and the JJC men's basketball student athletes assisted with that event. And over 20 refs went to that clinic. We also had a JJC running camp that was led by JJC's cross country and track coaches and athletes, and we had 16 runners at that event. We are bringing the Junior Wolves brand out into the community also as we host summer sports camps at several locations throughout the community, like basketball, cheer and dance, soccer, volleyball, and softball. But this partnership goes so much deeper than sports. It is also about our mentorship. Through initiatives like Paws on the Street, JJC's phenomenal student athletes are stepping off of the courts and into our after-school programs. They are serving as coaches, tutors, and real-world role models. These programs would not be possible without our partnership with JJC Athletics Department, Greg Braun, and the amazing coaches and student athletes. We are creating employment opportunities as well for JJC students to gain experience leading teams and working with children. And our Teen Reach Summer Camp brings 100 middle schoolers to campus every single day, all summer long. And they aren't just passing through, they are developing a genuine sense of belonging in the environment of higher learning. They're exploring college and career pathways. In the weeks ahead, they will get a special tour of the prosthetics lab, which we're really excited about, and they get to learn more about college and career pathways in healthcare. This program is 100% free to those middle schoolers enrolled in our camp. We're working together also to ensure our local communities know about the incredible career pathways and local workforce development opportunities here at JJC. We do Jobs in the Trades workshop annually, and we had over 200 attendees and 17 vendors. We have a Jobs in the Healthcare workshop where we had around 20 attendees and 9 vendors. And we also have a Finding Free Money for College workshop where we had 45 in attendance. So that is just a snapshot of kind of what we're doing with our partnership with athletics.
And truly, this is the definition of a win-win partnership. It allows JJC to expand its deep roots of community outreach, and it allows the YMCA to expand youth sports and youth development programs to the kids who need it most. It gives us the opportunity to empower current JJC students, but then also create a sense of belonging for future students coming onto campus. And we're still working on ways to expand our partnership further. We're having incredible conversations with the team at Disability Services to look at expanding adaptive recreation in the community, and we feel like we are truly just beginning. By combining the YMCA's passion for youth development and nonprofit commitment to not turning anyone away because of the inability to pay, we are combining not only resources, but organizations to ensure that children are staying active today, but we're also actively shaping the future student body of tomorrow. We are deeply grateful to the leadership here at Joliet Junior College, including Dr. Namuo. We've got Dr. Brooks and Dr. Kason Luzbatek who help with this partnership, and just the entire team around the facilities. We are so grateful for the chance to stand side by side alongside JJC and make sure that every child has the chance to really truly feel their full potential getting realized here in our community. Thank you very much.
Next item is 1.3, approval of recognition of retirements. Dr. Amy Gray.
Thank you, Chairman Budzinski. We're going to start with Judy Kelly. Today, we recognize and celebrate the retirement of Judy Kelly after almost 25 years of dedicated service to our college. Throughout her tenure, Judy has been a trusted colleague, a dependable professional, and a welcoming presence in each of the departments she has worked, and that's quite a few departments. Her positive demeanor, attention to detail, and willingness to support others have made a lasting impact on our institution. She really has been someone who steps up, and anything I've ever asked her to do, she is more than willing. Her contributions have extended beyond the daily responsibilities of her role. For the past several years, she's played an integral role in planning and coordinating JJC's fall and spring opening week events, Professional Development Day, our EduCon, and many other opportunities, helping ensure these programs are successful and meaningful for our employees. On behalf of the entire college community, we extend our sincere gratitude for almost 25 years of service and wish her all the best in her very, very well-earned retirement. Congratulations to you.
It's nice, 25 years. Either way. You can ask it. You want me to ask it? Yeah. Okay. Under item 1.3.1, I need a motion to approve. Motion to approve.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carried.
Next item, 1.3.2.
Hey, and our next retirement is Vanessa Romeo. If there's one word to describe this adjunct faculty member, it is giving back. A Lockport native, Vanessa Romeo attended JJC herself and found a calling to help students achieve their academic dreams. In 2002, she began teaching at JJC as an adjunct faculty member in social and behavioral sciences, where she's been teaching psychology. And this has been her way to give back to the community that helped her achieve her own success. And this educator truly models what it is to be a leader and an educator. She is very inclusive and student-centered. As an adjunct faculty member, she consistently went above and beyond to support our students and the department. She demonstrated a genuine commitment to the success of her students. Actually, in one instance, she had a student who was in their final semester, could not afford the last class, and so she paid for it. The impact Vanessa has had on our students, faculty, department will be felt long after her retirement. We extend our deepest gratitude for dedicating 23 years to JJC and wish her continued happiness, good health, and many fulfilling adventures as she begins this next exciting new chapter.
Motion to accept this.
So moved.
Second.
Motion carried. I'm sorry. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carried.
Next item is 1.3.3.
And our final retiree for this evening is Andrew Maniatis. He has been a longtime adjunct instructor in our technical department in the field of computer-assisted drafting. For over the past 13 years, he has excelled in introducing students to MicroStation, which is an invaluable software that students need to know to be prepared for a career in this field. Throughout his time at JJC, he has shown a great enthusiasm for the subject he teaches, which is reflected in the positive learning and career outcomes of his students. He will be missed greatly in this department, and we wish him all the best in his retirement.
Motion to accept the resignation. Motion to.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 1.4, public comments. Monique, do we have any public comments?
Chairman Bazinski, we do not have any public comment.
Thank you. At this time, Dr. Newell will give us a moment of silence.
Chairman Budzinski, thank you. I'm asking the college community to join me in a moment of silence for the following individuals, please. Ida King, a retiree, JJC custodian for 28 years in facility services. Anderson Kelly, a JJC student. Ron Aker, grandfather to Madison, Connor, and Morgan Harrington. Seaver Terrellis, retiree, director of facilities services in 8 years of service. And Elijah Williams, grandson of Angela Thomas, one of our adjuncts in adult education.
Thank you, Dr. Nimmo. Item 1.6.1, Strategic Enrollment Management Plan Report. Dr. Carl Brooks. Dr. Yolanda.
Look different.
I know, right? So good evening, Chairman Bazinski, trustee of the board and the JJC community. So this presentation is especially important to me because of the strategic enrollment management plan has been a defining part of JJC's work for more than a decade. For some trustees, I believe Trustee Morales, you probably will remember this, in the early days of the strategic enrollment management plan movement at JJC, it was in 2014 when we first launched our first strategic enrollment management plan, and it was called SIM 1.0. You probably remember that as well, Trustee Brock. So at that time, JJC was among the first community colleges in Illinois to implement a comprehensive strategic enrollment management plan framework. Remember that, team. The work garnered statewide attention, and we had the opportunity to really share our approach to the SIM plan to the Illinois Community College Board in 2016. It started as a very bold and innovative approach, has evolved into a culture of intentional enrollment planning that continues to guide our work today. Trustees, you've had the opportunity to review the SIM Plan 4.0 and the progress the college has made. So this evening, you will hear about the results of the hard work, including enrollment trends, student engagement efforts, and strategies that have contributed to the college's continued growth. So as we begin thinking about SIM Plan 5.0, I believe our focus will continue to evolve. We will continue to think about enrollment from a very strategic standpoint, but we will also look at how we're going to retain students, help them complete credentials, transfer successfully, and prepare for careers that provide economic opportunity and mobility. So it is now my pleasure to introduce, take your time coming up here, Dr. Brooks, the Vice President of Student Development, to present the Strategic Enrollment Management Plan updates. Under his leadership, I'm absolutely confident that the college will continue to strengthen an already strong foundation while ensuring that our enrollment strategies remain responsive to the evolving needs of students in the communities that we serve. So Dr. Brooks, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you, Dr. Farmer. I can't begin to express how important Dr. Farmer's leadership and support has been to me and the Division of Student Development and the progress here. My team and I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to share information regarding the progress of the current JJC Strategic Enrollment Management Plan, and as well as the direction the college will pursue to support future plans. Before I get started, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the entire campus for their continued attention to STEM. STEM is really everybody's responsibility, and the actions associated with the plan requires everyone's interest and commitment. However, I would like to particularly extend my sincere appreciation to Dean Robert Morris, JJC's Dean of Enrollment Management, who primarily serves as the college's lead administrator for our enrollment management work. His contribution to this presentation can't be understated. Bob leads a great team within the enrollment management subdivision, which includes admission, financial aid, registrar services, as well as the Center for Student Wellness and Support. And I just want to extend my sincere appreciation because his leadership has been truly appreciated. So I was going to tell you where we're going. You know, why STEM is important and is critical to the success of the college. I'm going to highlight a few things in terms of some trends and some things that we just need to be aware of. I was told to keep it brief. We try to do that. STEM's alignment with the current JJC strategic plan. It's important that we recognize there's always that alignment, that a strategic plan guides us, and STEM is a part of that structure. And also share some success stories, as well as looking ahead to STEM 5.0, and most importantly, the work and continued work of our STEM committee. So STEM positions JJC to engage in a framework that meets both enrollment and revenue expectations while also keeping student success at the forefront of our work. The attention to aligning SEM's goals, objectives, and initiatives with JJC's strategic plan and priorities ensures that the college's mission and values remain central to the focus of this work. While there have been many recent discussions held by the board regarding enrollment, my hope is to share some evidence that will better inform the narrative around some of the current enrollment plans. So here I thought, okay, let's kind of get them out right away. Let's hit you with some of the highlights that you just need to be aware of. As a reminder, JJC has shown an increase in regular credit FTE, full-time equivalent enrollment, successfully over a number of years, fall 23, 24, 25, as well as spring 23, 24, and 25. That is very clear. That supports significant work that we've been doing to continue year after year increasing enrollment at the college. And I'd like to highlight that when we talk about non-credit students, that's an important piece of an enrollment management plan. So for our students that are engaged in non-credit courses, how many of those students are transitioning into credit courses? I wanted to put this up here to be clear that, you know, over the last couple of years here, we've had 1,144 non-credit students have transitioned to credit programs, generating over 9,000 credit hours. And that's an important and significant work. Many of our partners down at the City Center are helping us do as well. It's important to note that in-district high school populations are projected to decline by 7%, and we're aware of that. We've been talking about this enrollment cliff for quite some time, right? But it's also important to recognize that JJC remains ahead of the game in regarding the yields. Back in 2021, our yield was 14% of the high school students moving on to college. In 2025, the yield was 18%. So while our high school population, just by who's present and there, is declining, less babies, we are increasing our market share and continue to focus on that, which fluctuates between 18 and 20%. That has a lot to do with how the plan has been shaped. Another highlight I want to hit you with right away, 12 by 12 by 12. This initiative has certainly been marketed throughout our district as an important position, and I credit our president for his leadership and his voice around 12 by 12 by 12. But I want to give you some data right away to tell you that, you know, according to the research from our institutional research division, 3,856 JJC dual credit students graduated in spring of 2025. And of this cohort, 26%, 998 enrolled at JJC within 1 year of their completion by spring 2026. That is a major accomplishment. Let me just say 26%. Yes, 26%. That speaks to the hard work of all involved, especially also our partners at our district high school. And so we want to take a lot of pride in that. As well, I just got word today, so I included it in the presentation. The CRM is implemented, and we are excited about that. As you know, we've communicated about the importance of implementing a CRM to support our admission processes and our effectiveness and efficiencies. And today I got word it's completed. I just want to thank the board for approving that purchase earlier this year with the confidence that we would stay on track and get that done. So I just want to thank everybody that has been involved in that process, because it wouldn't happen without everyone's commitment and focus on that work. SEM 4.0 and the JJC strategic plan, just a quick hit. Just want to make sure we're clear that it's in alignment with the plan that is currently in existence. That has, 5 goals, and the plan has crafting an intentional student life cycle, and that is where SEM really focused on leaning in relationship to its alignment with the plan. And as a reminder, SEM 4.0 has 5 pillars in itself. that big document that you received, over 60 pages, detailing all of the direction, the initiatives, the priorities that SEM will take, categorizing admission and recruiting, student experience, non-credit extended campuses, academic excellence, and marketing, which you'll hear more about later in the board meeting. So I wanted to just highlight some of the successes of 4.0. We've got a lot of successes that I could highlight, but given the time, I just want to highlight a few. One is our Next Step Days. Our Next Step Days was piloted in spring 2024, so it's not still fairly young in its inception and its activity. But at that point, we went out to 13 district high schools. This is a team of admission staff, advising staff, testing staff, scholarship staff that go into those high schools and support building those relationships and making the ease of enrollment within the spaces that those students are in to support their enrollment at JJC. Happy to report that on our first pilot year, 450 students attended, 292 students of those students enrolled in fall, and that equates to a 65% conversion rate. Good, but we can do better, right? So we expanded in 2025, in spring 2025, our Next Step Days. Went into 16 high schools, engaged 702 students who attended. We converted 612 of them, 87% conversion rate. That is an outstanding accomplishment. Our numbers aren't in yet for spring, but I'm very excited about that initiative and most importantly, how it supports us building relationships with our high school partners and our high school students and giving them ease of access to getting enrolled at JJC. In support of that student experience, I want to continue to speak to kind of that transition. Another highlight I want to provide here is around new student advising. As you all know, we have been investing quite a bit into our advising staff. And it's yielding results. And I just wanted to show those metrics. We have an outstanding advising corps who initiated a new student advising revised process. And in fall of 2025, 1,481 students attended in person or online advising, 1,372 enrolled for fall 2025. And that equates to a 93% conversion rate. But better yet, how are they persisting? We wanted to continue to track that. It's not just about getting them in. We want to get them moving and supporting their persisting at the college. So our spring numbers for 2026 show that 1,052 of those students who attended in-group advising sessions, 874 of them enrolled in spring 2026, which shows a persistence rate of 89, really 90% if you round up. Those are important numbers because, again, it speaks to how students are being engaged, how they're being supported, and how they see that support supporting their continued enrollment at the college. The first, the first advising session this spring, which took place in April, had record numbers, 185 students. That was larger than our last advising session in, fall of 2025. So that speaks to where we're going and how we're getting there. I can't begin to express how our intentionality around supporting students in their advising and in their transition speaks to the enrollment and the successes that we're having in our program. All right, so where we're going. As we look ahead to SEM 5.0, we're starting to think about where the college needs to go. We know those shrinking numbers regarding traditional age students it's upon us. Significant focus will be on adult students, and we'll continue to lean into what that means. Data clearly shows that there are over 1 million individuals in Northern Illinois with some college but no degree, and we want to make sure that JJC is a pathway for them to earn their degree. As well, we will continue to focus on increasing dual credit matriculation. That will continue to maintain for us as a priority, so we won't lose sight of that. We'll continue to work with our district high schools to increase our penetration rates. Some of our district high schools are starting to do some hours within the high school, not just visiting for an event, but having even a greater presence in our district high school. If I read the information correctly, we have about 3 high schools already that we're doing hours in, spending time with students and building those relationships. We're going to maximize our use of technology. Of course, the CRM's implementation is critical to that process. And we're going to continue to explore the use of AI and its effectiveness in our recruitment and retention effort. And so as the committee comes together, that will be some of the work. So let me speak to the SEM committee just real quickly. I first and foremost want to extend my appreciation and my thank you to the chairs of the current SEM committee, Dean Morris and Robin Ballard, who you hear from soon. And I also want to extend my gratitude to the committee members. We have 28 individuals from across the campus, from various departments, representing various programs that serve on that committee. And so the committee's work will be critical as we think about the future of SEM. JJC will begin sunsetting the 4.0 plan this next year. We'll be building the 5.0 plan during fall 26 and throughout the year with an intention of launching that for fall 2027. The SEM committee does meet monthly and very attentive to this work and the accountability of the work. So they meet monthly during the academic year. Action plans and scorecards are constantly updated each summer and also as needed pretty regularly. And I want to mention here that HLC, our Higher Learning Commission, was very complimentary of the committee's approach, their collaboration, and the overall campus-wide buy-in that SEM 4.0 provided to our campus. So I thought about the closing of my brief time with you all. And as I think about closing, I received some information from our esteemed Vice President, Karen Kissel, who provided some information as I was talking about, strategic enrollment management's impact on our campus. And here's what the statement that she provided me says. Our strategic enrollment management plan has been an important factor in strengthening the college's financial position and long-term sustainability. In January 2024, S&P Global Rating affirmed JJC's AA credit rating and revised the outlook from stable to positive, citing the college's steady financial improvements and comprehensive planning practices. The work outlined in the STEM plan, including increasing high school matriculation, expanding dual credit, credit participation, growing adult and continuing education enrollment, strengthening workforce development and corporate partnership, enhancing marketing and outreach, and improving student retention has helped drive these positive results and demonstrate the value of coordinated strategic approaches to enrollment management growth and success. So to say the least, having a quality STEM plan, an accountability plan, a plan that speaks to our mission, vision, and values, and most importantly, centers students, is always our priority. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
Just for clarification, an in-person group advising session.
Mhm.
What is that where
Sure.
more than one student will come into an advising session? Like,
No, in person just means that they're actually physically here. They're present on our campus, and we are able to engage them physically. Online, obviously, is virtual. So while it still could be a one-on-one session online, in-person means just that, an in-person session. There's still individual advising sessions. We still may do some group advising sessions as a part of our process, depending on, how we approach a particular group of students, because we do bring groups of students to advising sessions. Some of our departments, like the Center for Multicultural Access and Success, will coordinate sessions for particularly for our returning students to support them, getting the information that they need and supporting their ability to take the next steps in their advising progress.
And that would be in a group.
But not necessarily. Most of the advising sessions are one-on-one.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, yeah.
I have a couple. When you showed on page 2, the enrollment increase of 23, 24, 25, did you have anything separated to identify age so that you knew where the ages were? So that we could see if there was any that were a little bit older than what the high school graduate was or the adult? Because when you look at some of the, like 2023, still had an effect from COVID because there were still people that were out of jobs for a while. And I look at it from the economic situation of that.
Sure.
Did you have any data that showed their age?
We have all that data broken down by age, by ethnicity. And so that's the FTE numbers that I'm sharing in terms of overall. And I know that similar to the reports that you received from President Amua weekly, that information is also contained in some of that information as well.
I'm looking at what you gave us.
Yeah, sure. For those, I have data that will be happy to
It would be nice to see
provide.
where the grouping is.
Absolutely.
And then in the 12 by 12 by 12, I know we have, where this is one of the stellar things that we're working on. What are we going to do to get more emphasis in the high schools? I sub in 3 of them, and I know a lot of the students don't know because I constantly ask. So I'm like, how do we get more? Because we need to get the word out. And is there any way of us getting their addresses, the students' addresses, so that we can email something to them? Because I know that was something we brought up a couple of years ago to generate so that they would know, because it's getting them to know and the parents to know what we have. Because even when I was talking to 3 students Saturday, they go, what's dual credit? And they were at Lincoln Way. And I'm like, nobody told you? So, I went into a little dissertation telling them, they're like, oh, this is good. They were juniors. So they're like, yeah, we're going to take some.
So we work with a lot of partners in the high schools. I think we do an outstanding job in partnering, as we talked about, getting in the high school for Next Step Days, getting the invitation, spend extended time in the high schools, building those relationships. So I'm often surprised if a student is not taking interest, then the question is, ask those questions. How do they not know about us? Or more importantly, I certainly support you communicating who we should be contacting if for some reason we don't have a relationship with someone that you feel can have an influence on communicating the benefits of Joliet Junior College in supporting students in their educational pursuits.
Because I know when I talk to the chairs, because the chairs usually see who we are, and they, share their information back and forth. So maybe entertaining the chairs too of the different departments to come in, because I know it's an issue of the teacher being with the right degree and everything, that they could get more of their teachers involved and have more of the classes that the students could take. Because some think it's just the lower, but it's not just the lower. Because I've seen calculus and I've seen some of the AP classes that they're able to do too. But I know the kids struggle with the AP versus the dual credit, and they don't realize that they could do both. Because if they don't pass the AP, they still have the dual credit hours. So I'm just saying from what I'm seeing in the three districts I'm in.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate you sharing that.
Thank you.
I do. I have oh, go ahead. You had your hand.
Yeah, then I can pass it over to you. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. I really appreciated the pillars and the way that you broke it down. Again, as a way to visually see, I don't know the page number, and that's okay, but it's the one for the pillars. I appreciate the way that the information is broken down, just to make it a little bit easier to understand all the different components and all of the work that we're doing in order to continue to engage students and keep them in school in a way, but also providing that support that is much needed. Something else that I want to highlight is I think it's super valuable that we have committees and we have a diverse number of community members as well as team members that are providing different insights and different information in order to make this better as we go into the next school year. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Brooks, for all the work that everyone did. And
especially the 28 committee members that you mentioned. And I know I heard one of the podcasts, and I think when they interviewed Rosa Salazar, she talked about having worked on the next step days. So I know she's been very, very instrumental in working really, really hard at getting enrollment, to increase here. However, being on this board for 11 years now, I have been concerned, and I continue to be concerned about the decline in enrollment, especially right now that you said that we're going to be looking at 7% decline between 2025 and 2027. Not now, but maybe later at some point, if you could share with us, like, what is that decline based on? Because I don't like to just jump on bandwagons. I wanted to know, how are we gathering that data? How do we know? Because if we know where this is coming from, maybe we can, get ahead of it, right? So what I wanted to say is, I am concerned about the long-term decline, but specifically, and I brought this up even before when prior presidents, is our African-American numbers are declining a lot. Okay, and that's a big concern for me. I'd like to see a more intentional strategy that puts college representatives directly into neighborhoods, into churches, into schools, and specifically into parent meetings. I think we need to reach the parents.
Sure.
The students, maybe we might reach them, but if you reach the parents and you talk to them about the economics, I think that's where we're going to start to see a shift, right? And we need to explain, like what Trustee Broderick said, we need to better explain that's a hidden treasure, the dual credit and the 12 by 12 by 12.
Absolutely.
And not only that, but really explain financial aid and that they can apply, and even if they qualify for it, they don't have to use it, period, or they don't have to use it here. They can use it at any other school they choose to go to. Scholarships, and also talk to them more about the scholarships and the college pathways. Many families, especially like first generation college families and those facing economic challenges, don't always receive clear information about how dual credit works and financial aid and how it can make it affordable. What I'd like to better understand is just three things. How many community-based presentations are we conducting each semester, if any, including, during the summers? And I know summers are hard. And what partnerships do we have with community organizations? I know we have one with the YMCA, but how many partnerships do we have that are specifically serving African American families? And what measurable goals do we have for increasing awareness and enrollment? And you went through a lot, but I think because of the decline that we are foreseeing, and I don't want to bring that to fruition, but I think we need to really have very fine-tuned and more specific goals in certain, pockets with parents, like I said, and churches and schools. If we have 28 committee members, can you imagine if they went out regularly into the community? And we can do that because I know Robin, I think, did that with some other project that we worked on. So I'd like to see us maybe put that effort into enrollment with these specific niche groups.
Well, thank you for that feedback.
No, thank you.
Certainly as we think about SEM 5.0, that could clearly be a point of continued interest. It has been a point of interest, but could be a point.
And we are doing a lot. We really are. But like you mentioned, if we're seeing this decline, I think we have to kind of pivot and do different things that we haven't done before. And I know Dr. Namoa has brought a ton of ideas and creativity to helping, with this, but with these declines we are possibly seeing, I think we just need to maybe pivot a little bit more. But thank you.
Absolutely.
I have one more thing. The newsletters that goes out to the parents from the high school, can't we get something in there, like an ad? Because I know some of our local high schools have it, where we get like a letter from them that says this, and they have different things. It's like a 4-page thing. And it has some of the advertisements in it for colleges and that. Is there anything we can look into that?
We can sure look into that. We may already be doing some of that. We tend to focus, our newsletters go out to the high school counselors because those are the folks that have the greatest influence to introduce JJC. We even host the high school counselor, day with us, where we feature some of our programs every year and talk through any questions they have regarding new developments at the college, as well as successes we're having, and also successes of students that enroll from their institution. So at the end of the day, those partnerships are really important. That's really our vehicle primarily. But if they give us opportunity to be in those newsletters, man, we're there.
I'm just saying to inquire, because if we see it, and I get it from my high school time still, and it's interesting that the parents read that. That's what parents read.
Mhm,
So that's
absolutely.
what, as you know, Trustee Morales said, we need to get the parents more involved, because they're the ones that are paying those bills.
Great.
Thank you.
I have just one quick question. I think as we're looking ahead to SEM 5.0, my only question is really how often traditionally does a SEM get updated?
Depends on the length of the plan. Normally, a plan is anywhere from 3 to 5 years. I think we've averaged around 3 years in our SEM work. Some SEM plans can even go longer than that, depending on how you're what you're envisioning, how you're measuring success, and most importantly, how it's aligned with the college's strategic plan. That's very, very important. That they shouldn't be competing; they should be complementary. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brooks.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Dr. Brooks. I just want to clarify one important aspect. And Trustee Morales, you indicated that, that we continue to see a decline for African-American students, and we recognize that is nationally. But at JJC, I want you to know that we have increased by 10% for the fall for this particular population for African-American students. And we're trending up for African-American students at 3.3% for the summer already.
Wonderful.
So we must be doing something right
Yes,
here at JJC.
thank you.
So for that population. So I just wanted to share that.
I
with you
appreciate
today.
that. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. Chairman,
You all finished?
for this presentation, yes.
Sure. Um, Marketing communication report?
Yes, I'm back here again. So again, this evening, the board agenda includes several items related to the college's marketing and creative services efforts, many which require your support. So as we continue our focus on enrollment growth and expanding opportunities throughout our district, it is absolutely important to recognize that for many prospective students, their first introduction to JJC may come through a television commercial, social media, advertisement, a podcast, direct mail, or another marketing touch point. Simply stated, the enrollment funnel begins with awareness. So before a student can apply, enroll, or even complete a credential, they must know who we are and understand the opportunities available to them. Marketing plays a critical role in ensuring that JJC remains visible and competitive with an increasingly crowded marketplace. This work is about telling the JJC story, our history, our programs, our successes, and the transformational opportunities available to students throughout our district. So the agenda items before the board this evening supports our ability to continue that work. They help us ensure that JJC remains a part of the conversation for prospective students and families. And we will continue building upon the momentum based on some of the information shared today by Dr. Brooks regarding our strategic enrollment management plan. So at this time, I would like to invite Robin Ballard, our Director of Marketing and Creative Services, to provide an overview of how marketing supports enrollment and the opportunity at JJC. Robin, I just have to talk to her about her just a little bit, is an exceptional leader, and I appreciate her commitment to ensuring that the JJC story is shared throughout the communities that we serve. So Robin, the floor is yours.
Hi again. It's me. Good evening, Chairman Bazinski, trustees of the board, and the JJC community again. First, I want to just thank the YMCA again for coming and telling their story. I don't think I could beat their numbers today, to be honest. They have a wonderful partnership with us, and I was really glad to invite them here tonight. So thank you to them. But onto marketing. What I'd like to walk you through is how marketing supports JJC's enrollment goals, how we evaluate how it's working, how we are strengthening our position in a more competitive market, as Dr. Farmer said. This work is focused on how we reach more students, increase access, and position JJC as the first choice for students. This work is grounded in why JJC exists. Everything we're doing is centered on expanding access, helping students see opportunities, and moving students forward. And also, it's about positioning JJC as the first choice for them to explore what's next for them in their journey. This is where the work connects back to the mission. We're increasing visibility, we're helping students see real opportunities, and moving more students towards enrollment. Something I want everyone to take away from today is that at the end of this day, this is about getting more students from awareness to action. That's why we're staying focused on what matters most at the institution here. These are not separate priorities. They all move together. If we are more visible, we can stay competitive. If we can stay competitive, we know that enrollment will stabilize. And that's what strengthens JJC long-term. And this is all done while being responsible with our investments. As we've already talked about, we know the environment has changed. We know there's fewer students. We know that there's way more choices out there than ever before. We know they're making earlier decisions. And we know that they have really high expectations with how they're going to spend their money these days. That means that we don't have the same window that we used to. If JJC is not visible very, very early, we're not even part of their decision. And in this environment, less visibility doesn't hold enrollment steady. It actually decreases it. That's why we're focused on increasing visibility, improving that targeting, and connecting marketing to our enrollment outcomes, as Dr. Brooks talked about. So this is how the students choose. And it's a long journey. It is not one click, right? It starts with awareness. Then they're going to consider us. They're going to explore everything we have. They're going to look at all of our programs, our pathways. They're going to see if there's something here for them. Then once they've explored us, that's when we want them to take action. And it says apply up there, but there's so many more things to action. There's an inquiry form. There's talking to an advisor. There's stepping on our campus. There's going to an event. That's the action. And then the last step of the journey, just to get them in the front door, is that enrollment, finally getting to register. This is not a single moment. It's a process that builds over time. And again, if JJC is not part of the process early, everything else is affected, right? And along the way, there are multiple factors shaping this decision, things that are outside of some of our own grasp. Outcomes, cost, experience, location, programs. But none of it matters if there's no awareness about us to begin with. All of these have to be working together. Now with awareness, because of that, enrollment isn't driven by just one area. As Dr. Brooks said, everything's connected, right? So you have your awareness at the very top. That's where marketing is. We are helping students find JJC, telling them who we are, telling our story, telling them they belong here. After they have that awareness, then they're looking at academic programs that Dr. Gray's department and division has created for them. They're finding those things that they know that they can come here to do so that they can be successful after us. That's in the consideration bucket. Once they've considered us, they're going to take that action. That's where the admission teams takes over and they help them take that next step in next steps days. Once we get them in next step days, guess what happens? Student services comes along to help them actually enroll in their classes. Each part plays a different point in the journey. That's why this work is not happening in silos. They already told you, I'm the co-sponsor of the SEM plan, which I love. It's my favorite committee. Thanks, guys. Sorry to everyone else. But this next year, I'm also going to be co-sponsoring the college's strategic plan because enrollment is a shared responsibility across this institution. Marketing connects it all from the outside so so that students experience JJC as one clear, consistent path forward for themselves. From a student's point of view, though, it doesn't feel like a system. And that's all strategic on our part. It feels like a series of moments over time. The more consistent students see JJC, the more we can stay top of mind when the decision moment finally comes. It builds over time. There is no one moment that drives this decision. Okay, audience participation. Because I have to, because I'm in marketing, I'm sorry. Does anyone in the room know what the yellow logo is? I have a branded prize at my seat if you do. Anyone want to take a guess? No? Anyone else? No? The reason I ask this is we're continuing to explore new ways to reach our audiences. Most of you know a lot of those logos up there. But what you might not know is something called Audio Go. This gets us into podcasts. So back in the fall, most everyone in this room was hopefully watching Chicago Bears games. If you were watching the Packers, don't talk to me. If you were watching the Bears games, you may have seen TV commercials for JJC. That's wonderful. That's one way to see JJC. But then the next week, if you're a Super Bear fan, you're listening to the Super Bear Fan podcast. And then guess what? You're getting layered with another ad from JJC. We're targeting you. We are going to find you. We're going to tell you our story in so many different ways because we understand that no single touch point drives enrollment. Just like not one single touch point, there's also not one single piece that works alone. But when they work together, they build momentum. Like I talked about at the top, you've got awareness. That's what most everybody sees. They see TV, they drive by our billboards, they see our displays in restaurants, on billboards, in supermarkets. But then we reinforce. We have repeated exposure. That's where you see your Facebook ads, your Google ads. That's where we're going to tell you about those pathway programs, about the certificates, about dual credit, about scholarships. Then we're going to target you. We are going to be program and audience specific. We're going to be talking to parents. We're going to be talking to high schoolers. We're going to be talking to non-traditional. That gets broken down into targeting. Next, after those ads are working, they're finally going to engage with us. That's in our website, our direct interaction, stepping foot into our campus. And then they finally have that connection. They see us at Next Step Days. They come to discover JJC, and then we can do the ongoing communication for them to finally get here. That's the life cycle of marketing. And we don't just look at one number. It's impossible. We look at movement across the journey from awareness to interest to engagement to inquiries, applications, and enrollment. What matters the most is the movement in the right direction for all of those numbers. And we use that to decide where we invest and what we keep doing. Not everything we do is measured in the same way. And I think that's really important for everyone to understand. It's about making sure that JJC shows up early enough in that awareness stage and clearly enough so that we're chosen. Digital channels give us clear indicators like engagement, traffic, and interest, but things like billboards, TV, and community presence don't. But that doesn't mean they're not working. We need both direct response and brand presence for a complete strategy. They have to work together. Okay, this is maybe my favorite part because I'm a shoe girl. Sorry to my husband, I love to buy shoes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about shoes and ROI. Apologies. Everyday purchasers are straightforward. DSW is going to run an ad for a pair of sandals for me. I am going to click on that ad. They know me. Now, hopefully all your phones, you guys get DSW ads. You're going to get an ad. You're going to click it. You're going to buy the shoe. DSW can tell you exactly how much it costs to get Robin to buy that shoe. That is everyday purchases. Unfortunately, enrollment works differently. Students engage over time. There are multiple interactions that influence this decision. No single moment can determine enrollment. It's just impossible. Students make this decision over time through multiple interactions like we talked about. I was thinking as they were talking from the YMCA, that might be their first interaction with JJC. It's not even marketing at the very, very beginning. It's getting them on campus. It's those partnerships. It's those sponsorships. Then they come back here for what? Future Wolves. We're getting them back onto our campus. Then they're talking to us with the 12 by 12 program, field trips, etc. It starts very early on with those actions. They're engaging more than once. No single moment determines when they enroll, but it all works together. So when we evaluate marketing, we're not looking for one moment that drives enrollment because they're not buying the shoes. We're looking for the movement across the entire journey. Okay, I do have some fun numbers. So I'm just going to give you a single example because we have hundreds of these stories. I pulled a cybersecurity campaign for you, for example. Before, on a regular day when the ad's not running, the regular week, 2 weeks worth of page views is 174. When we are running an ad for cybersecurity, we have 5,711 views to that page. Now I know you're all like, so are there 5,700 students in cybersecurity? No, absolutely not. But guess what? There are 5,700 people in this community now that have the awareness that we have a cybersecurity program that didn't have that awareness without that ad. So there might be a mom that's got a daughter who's really into gaming right now or really into solving problems, and she just tucks that away. Her daughter goes to Future Wolves, takes a couple classes. She has that awareness now that there is a program built for her and what she wants to go into. That's how those ads work. There are not 5,700 in cybersecurity, but it is a great program and doing very well. This is ongoing. We look at this data all the time. It's everywhere. We measure using data, we learn from the insights, and then we adjust. We're going to scale what works and we're going to change what doesn't. Something I want to remind everybody, all of this work has been done within the budget already allocated to our department. We're being very intentional about how we steward these resources, and what we're seeing is an increased performance and growing results year over year without an increased budget. So this isn't about spending more. It's about delivering better results with what we already have, expanding into new technologies such as Audio Go and podcasts, and it's where this next piece comes in. Making sure how JJC shows up matches the value that we're delivering to our students. And before I show you where the brand is going, I want to briefly ground you in how we got here. The brand work was completed and launched in March following a structured process that included research, student insights, Byron included, thank you, Byron, and input across the institution and community. At this stage, it's already in the market and being experienced by our students. My focus tonight is how it's performing and how we're using it to support our enrollment goals. JJC has always been a place of belonging. We've been the neighbor. We've been the community partner. We know that we are welcoming, we are accessible, we are community-centered, and we believe that everyone belongs here. That does not change. That is our core. That is who we are. But what we know about ourselves and we know where we're going, we know that we are innovative, possibility-driven, and future-focused. We are not just a place to belong, but we are a place to build, explore, and create what's next for our students. We're not moving away from belonging, we're building on top of it. This is a little bit about what that shift looks like, because students aren't just deciding where to go, they're deciding what their future really looks like. And if we don't show up in that space, we don't even get chosen. And that's why it matters, because that decision doesn't start when the student applies, it just starts so much earlier. The next moment shapes everything that comes next. that very first impression, whether JJC is even remembered, whether we're seriously considered, or whether we're not part of that decision at all. It happens right in that middle area. Okay, I lied. This is my favorite. We're already seeing early signals of this connecting. Incoming students are buying the apparel. And I know that seems insignificant, but I want to tell you a story. The bookstore has amazing t-shirts, sweatshirts, all the things down there. Walked in the morning, I knew I wanted a new purple t-shirt with the new logo on it. So I said, I have to remember to walk the right way before I leave at the end of the day, or I'm going to forget to buy it. So I purposely left my office, walked down the stairs at the end of the day. The store was full in the morning, okay? It was full. I was getting my t-shirt. I got down there and I walked in. There were no t-shirts left. And I said to the clerk, where are the purple t-shirts? She said, there was a high school group here today. She's like, I don't know, they were here for advising or something. She said, I've never, since I've worked here, sold out of t-shirts. She said, they cleaned me out. And I know that seems silly, but when you see things like that, you see things like a graduate deciding to put the new logo on their cap. This graduate bedazzled the cap. If you've ever bedazzled anything, that is a commitment, guys. That is love and passion. I tell you it is. That's connection. That's pride. And that's what's going to drive choice. At the end of the day, the work comes down to making sure students see JJC, understand the value, and take that next step. That's how we're strengthening enrollment, and that's where our focus will continue to be. With that, I'll take questions.
The board.
Should we explore every social media outlet, see what it does, and have a way of determining if it's successful, not with the ROI, but successful in
Yes.
its usage?
Yes, we definitely do. We even know which audiences are on each platform. So we have certain ads running for each platform specifically targeted to them. So we see those numbers and we track to see, like, for example, the cybersecurity. We know that that ad was a Facebook ad and that it brought that many people to the website. So we track every single social media.
Yeah, because I was surprised when I was watching a golf outing
Mhm.
on TV and all of a sudden I saw JJC and I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
I was shocked. And it
Yeah.
wasn't on a normal, 257, whatever the
Yeah.
ones. It's on the different streaming ones.
Yep.
So you are doing streaming.
Yes, we are doing streaming. The nice thing about those too, fun fact, if anyone's crazy about marketing, is you see that on TV. Our TV company and vendor can help us track and see when we get a lift on our website to see if those ads have worked.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
The way of
Yeah,
determining it.
we know.
Because
We know everything.
I was just thinking, we like to
Yeah.
track who does it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff. Creepy, but fun. Mhm. Yeah, others.
I just want to say thank you for the depth of the report, how you dove into it with great detail. Like that has been very enlightening for
Thank
me.
you.
And I think for the entire board, because I could tell you're in the grind of it every
love
single
it.
day. I could
Yeah.
tell. I mean,
Yeah.
it shows.
It's
So
my favorite.
thank you for the report that you gave. It's been very enlightening for me. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You know?
Yeah, I want to just say something. Yeah, I have to echo Trustee Morales that marketing is a huge part of success to any business. And of course, with being a college,
Yeah.
you can really reel them in. So
Yeah,
good luck
I
to
hope
you.
so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
support you on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think all the staff should have a purple car with the wolf on it.
Please, I would wrap my car if allowed. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. So Chairman, really quickly, Robin, you do have a giveaway. Do you still want to give something away to one of the board members? I would recommend that, please.
Here.
Let's do a number. I think that would be quick. Thank you. Number between 1 and 10. Think of that in your head. Board members, You have the number? Okay, trustee Morales, we'll start with you.
10.
Chairman, you have to.
6.
They're picking all my favorite numbers.
You let me go first.
5.
3.
嗯
Do you have another one? Item 1.6.3, student trustee report, Byron.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy summer, everybody. How are we feeling today? Good. All right, good.
Summary.
I don't got too much for us today, so I'll make this quick and snappy. For overview today, we'll be recapping the events of June and upcoming events of July. Starting off, I was in attendance of the CED Eye Opener Breakfast. This had over 400 attendees of various different colleges and representatives of the Center of Economic Development. We were there discussing multiple of the next plans of the upcoming year. Some of the notable acquisitions was Chicagoland is still ranked #1 in project recruitment. Will County is still #1 in job creation. And Will County remains #1 in single-family homes being built. Transitioning to the student perspective was OSA hosted a World Cup viewing of the World Cup tournament. This particular photo I took was during the Portugal versus the Democratic Republic of the Congo game. And lastly, this happened today. The Joliet Chamber breakfast was in discussion of the Illinois state budget being approved, and multiple representatives, state representatives came in to give their perspectives on it. So, upcoming events for July was OSA is still hosting a American 250th birthday bash. That is going to be happening July 1st at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Secondly, OSA will be also hosting a tie-dye event July 21st, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That will be all today. Told you I'll make it quick.
All right. Thank you.
Item 1.6.4, the faculty union report, Kurt Ward.
Hey, good evening and welcome to week 6 of the summer session. So a special shout out to the students and their faculty members who are giving up part of their summer to further their education. Being week 6, there's a whole group of them who are finishing up finals in the first round this week. I also want to give a shout out to the over 6,400 students this spring who did well enough academically to land on the honor roll, and a shout out to their faculty members who facilitated that learning. You know, normally I spend a fair amount of time talking about a specific program, but you know, the reality is most of my full-time faculty members and friends are on summer vacation, well deserved. So hopefully everybody else is enjoying the rest of their summer, and we'll see everybody in August, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you.
Item 1.6.5, the adjunct faculty union report, Dr. Barbara Wilhen.
Good evening, everyone. Just echo the happy summer, and Monday starts the last of our summer sessions. That's when I start back teaching again. This is kind of a fond farewell for me, just in this position. I am leaving the president of our JUAC, and Mary Klinger is going to be taking over for me. So you're going to be seeing her face at these meetings next year. And I just want to say thank you for all the interactions that I've had here. Been very enjoyable to be a part of it. Still being going to be a big part of the union, and of course, I'm going to keep teaching, but just won't be here quite as often. Mary, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Congratulations.
Hello, Mary Klinger. I teach through the Department of Adult Ed. So I'm an English as a second language teacher. Yeah, this is a whole new world for me. So bear with me. So thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Item 1.6.6, the JJC Foundation Report. Amanda Quinn.
Good evening. Just have a few updates for you, but I'll start with a story. About 4 weeks, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I got a call from Dr. Dan Gutierrez. He was a foundation board member, a longtime donor of the college, and he said, "There's an alum that's my friend. I didn't know he was an alum, but I want to connect you with him. Can you send me some information on endowments?" So I put together a package and sent it to him. And then a couple weeks later, which was like 2.5 weeks ago, I got a call from a donor who wanted to start an endowment with me. And that conversation, which was 30 minutes, ended up in a 7-figure gift, a restricted gift for the foundation. So just wanted to report on that first. So Monday, I got back with jet lag, which I'll explain about in my next slide. And Tyler was delivering a package for me. I said, "I think this is $1 million." So he stayed to watch me open it. He's like, "I've never seen $1 million check." So the alum is Robert Hegley Sr. He established restricted endowment, the Robert W. and Barbara Pearson Hegley Endowed Scholarship. It will be for full-time students with a 3.0 GPA or higher, which will be at least $40,000 a year in scholarships in perpetuity. Very excited about it. We'll award his first scholarships in the fall of 2027. So that doesn't happen every day, especially in a community college foundation. So very exciting for our office. Very exciting for Tyler, who is delivering my envelope to me to see the check and experience that with me. So wanted to start with that and say we're very, very excited. This results in our highest year ever in the foundation and fundraising. We're almost to $7 million raised this year in fiscal year 26.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to meet him in person. He doesn't live here full time, so hoping we can set up a time to meet pretty soon and talk about his experience at JJC a little bit more. He said he wouldn't have went to college if it weren't for somebody supporting him. So my next thing is I stole Dr. Nemuo's Wolves in the Wild. Sorry, Chairman Budzinski. I wanted to share that last week we had a really special adventure with 21 alumni friends, foundation board members on a European trip to Switzerland, Germany, and Italy. And a group did go to Salzburg in Austria one day, but I stayed in Munich. Very great experience. It was an educational tour. We do this every other year. So we had a great time. So I wanted to show some pictures from our trip in our group, having a really great time there. So that's why Monday I had some jet lag because our flights were canceled. So that's a whole nother story. So that's that. And then I just want to update you on a few things and events that we have coming up. Our Night of Stars, we finally have all our recipients for our awards. So I wanted to announce the event is Tuesday, September 1st from 5 to 7 p.m. Our J.D. Ross Extraordinary Service Award will be going to Angie Caldwell. She is the president of Pink Heels Joliet chapter. So very excited about that. I know Dr. Nemuo made a phone call to share that with her, and she's very, very excited. The Susan H. Wood Hall of Fame Award will be going to Christy Mulvey, which I think most of you are aware of that already as well. The Dr. Judy Mitchell Alumni Achievement Award will be going to Michael Mutterer. He graduated in 05 from JJC, so Silver Cross Hospital president. And then the Foundation Partners in Excellence Award will be going to Shoup Manufacturing. We have a great relationship with them in our ag department. Many of our students intern there They are huge supporters of our of a scholarship every year that they give to students. So the form is actually up now, so people can register to attend. It's jjc.edu/Night of Stars. It will be here in our theater. It will be a great night. So I'll keep reminding you every month about it, I'm sure. The other event that I wanted to let you know about, just to give you enough time to train for our JJC Foundation 5K, you can run or walk it. Many people do walk it. Is going to be Sunday, October 4th. So there's a kids 1 mile race at 8:30, and then 9 a.m. is the 5K. And then you can register at jjc.edu/5K for that event. So looking forward to some stuff coming up. Our year gets really busy once we're through July. So looking forward to many, many things ahead. One more thing I forgot, our alumni podcast this month, Jen highlighted Dr. Brian Thompson, very involved in the college. He's an alum of JJC, obviously, was on our alumni board for years when we had an alumni board. Now we kind of merged with the foundation board for that, involved with EBC, mentor students, does things with our honors college. So he's a really great person. So please give that a listen as well. Any questions for me?
Golf outing coming.
Golf outing is good. It's in 2 weeks. So it is on Friday, July 10th. We actually do have a couple foursomes left if anyone is interested in participating. Any questions?
No questions, just thank you. And I'm gonna just put this out there to you as well. So anything that maybe you and Dr. Brooks's department can team up to really getting into the high schools to talk about the scholarships, because I know, and maybe at the next monthly meeting, you can report on how many scholarships, like there's so many scholarships that students don't even apply for just because they don't know about it. But we need to just raise more awareness and be more intentional with getting into these small niche groups and talking to parents about, the process. Like, when is the deadline? Because people are so busy, and before they realize that, oh, the deadline was last week, So I think they just need to know like a year in advance, that they need to take this seriously, because and brag about that donation you got. Like, we just got $1 million, guys. Come on, apply for it, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And I did talk to Robin. I'm like, is somebody from our office on the Sun Plan Committee? So making progress there so that we'll be able to do that and participate with that as well.
And thank you for all your hard work, Amanda.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item 1.6.7, the Building and Grounds Report. Trustee Bottomley and Trustee McComb.
Yeah, Building and Grounds Committee did not meet in June. We'll be back at it in August, I believe. So Trustee McCollum, you have anything to add?
No, ma'am.
That's all.
Perfect. 1.6.8, the Board Policy Committee Report. Trustee Garcia Guillen, Trustee Harris, and Trustee McComb.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So the policy committee board met earlier this month at the beginning. In front of you today, you're going to see a few different items, including a few readings for that are going to be part of our first reading for different policies. And also, as part of the consent agenda, you're going to see 3 readings that are going to be the governance and administration, general petition, and also alternative method for awarding credit. In addition to all of that, as part of the consent agenda for review only and approval, we have 2 policies that are going to be the student trustee qualification and selection, as well as the community education and community services. Once we get to that point, if you all have any questions, feel free to let us know. But again, for the second reading and the review only, that's part of the consent agenda. That would be all. We'll be meeting in August.
Thank you. Item 1.6.9, the Finance Committee Report. Trustee Morales and Trustee Bottomley.
Sure. We did not have a finance committee meeting prior to this board meeting, so there is no report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 1.6.10, the President's Report. Dr. Klein-Nemuel.
Thank you, Chairman Budzinski. And as Zach pulls the presentation up, darn it, Zach, you're too quick. I want to thank Monique and Stella for being here and subbing for Karen. I'm sure you all are noticing that, Karen's off supporting her son who's participating in Special Olympics out of state, the national competition. So, to Monique and Stella, thank you so much for stepping in here. Do want to point out something. I mean, you all heard two of really the best presentations I think this board has ever received from Dr. Brooks and Robin Ballard. Just want to commend them for, as Trustee Morales referenced, the level of detail and nuance. So often, the details of the work we do are not understood by all. I think the two of you in your different areas really highlighted not only the details, but how successful each of your areas has been. So I just commend you for someone who's been connected to marketing at a community college for over 20 years and participated in both developing and implementing SEM plans for over 20 years. Just kudos to you both. And it's really interesting to see how the work has evolved over the 20 years. We've gone from banner ads, Robin Ballard, to a level of sophistication where we're able to know, if you click on something, how long you stay there and what you click on next, and then where you live. And yes, it gets creepy, as Robin mentioned. The level of depth and sophistication that we implement in both of those areas was on display for the board tonight. So again, thank you so much for all of that. I will highlight, before I jump to my presentation, just the last thing. I want to thank the board, as you all now have a much deeper understanding of both of these very specific areas, perhaps more than ever before. In October of 2025, this board approved the CRM purchase. And while we highlighted its potential impact, you will hear more and more about the customer relationship management application that is currently being implemented. Full disclosure, JJC is the very first institution I've worked at that did not have a modern CRM. Now, it's not to say we're not tracking students who show interest, who then ask questions, who then apply, who then commit to the institution, and then ultimately matriculate to JJC. But a lot of that work that's happening now is manual. What a modern CRM allows us to do, and I chose my words very carefully there, is track students who inquire, track students who ask additional questions, track students who apply, who then commit, and then ultimately are enrolled. Each one of those stages will contain a separate population of students interested in JJC that requires a certain level of care and attention by our team to eventually get them to that matriculate and enroll phase. And all of that happens because this board approved in October of 2025 a modern customer relationship management tool. Okay, so I wanted to bring that back. So as we look at, the fall data is, and you all get this on a regular basis. A lot of what we do is to drive enrollment, and a lot of what Dr. Brooks talked about specifically, and actually Robin combined, SEM plans are not new. You heard that we're working on SEM Plan 5.0. We have decades worth of data now that proves what leading measures are in this space, okay? And I'm sure many of you, especially those in the audience today, can identify some of those leading measures that result in college access, ultimately enrollment, and then ultimately success. Many of them, Dr. Brooks featured, right? We want students to participate in dual credit. ICCB tracks all of that data. If a student participates in dual credit, the success-related data is, on average, about 10% higher than a student who did not take a JJC dual credit class. Does that make sense? Same for many of the other leading measures. Dr. Brooks mentioned 3 high schools that have embedded advisors. That's another phenomenon that represents a leading measure where community colleges have a presence in our local high schools, not having them come to us, but we go to them. That is another leading measure, the college access, enrollment, and success. And of course, FAFSA completion. The more FAFSA completion we have in our district, the higher our matriculation and enrollment rates are. So I'm so pleased with the numbers here. Just want to highlight a couple of them, not only the percentage for tuition credit, but we're starting to see our adult basic ed students come back. We're starting to see our English as a second language students come back. And I'm so pleased that Dr. Brooks highlighted the pathway from non-credit to credit. And I think that's something we do really, really well at JJC. Chairman, we were all just very busy. I want to thank all of the trustees who took time out of their busy days to join me, as Trustee McCollum mentioned, at the Will County CED event. And for the trustees understanding, and perhaps for the college communities understanding, this is probably not ready for public consumption yet, but while I'm on the executive committee at the Will County CED, I will actually be taking on a role with a little bit greater responsibility there, more to come, most likely due to the success that we all have experienced in the workforce development space, attracting companies like Hyundai, attracting companies like, name them. JJC has played a really important role in workforce development and economic development. Additionally, Chairman, I'll probably save this for next month, but I've been invited to be on the board of a statewide economic development entity as well. So again, thank you for the trustees. And here we are in Lombard, the upper right-hand corner, and I want to highlight several individuals who are up for awards. You'll see Michael Mutterer in the back there. Karen Rezick was up for the Board Assistant Award, and Brenton Bishop. Among all of the community college student trustees, emerged victorious for his student essay.
I was on the awards committee.
Understood.
Very close, but he did win.
So emerged victorious and received a scholarship for Brenton's story. And for those of you who have not read his story, my hope is, or heard of his story, my hope is that he'll be bold enough to share that essay, that powerful, powerful essay. And I guess back here, Chairman, we did a lot of lobbying this year. Trustee Harris, Trustee McCollum, the lobbying team. This was an image from my trip down to Springfield to lobby on behalf of reinstating the PATH grant. Ultimately unsuccessful, but we're not giving up. We're still here for our healthcare education students and our allied health students, and we're going to find a way to provide the resources that were not included, unfortunately, in this year's state budget. Well, Chairman, Chicagoland Speedway is back. I did get a chance to drive an actual NASCAR, which was terrifying. Hey, you're laughing, but I'm serious. It was terrifying. I highlight this because you've most likely heard a lot about it. There's a lot of excitement. I do want to thank Jackie Herrera. She's really breathed a lot of life, and I see Kurt nodding. He knows exactly what I'm about to say. I've challenged them to connect with our automotive department, and Jackie set aside, I won't reference the number because I'm not exactly sure, but let's just say over a dozen tickets for our automotive department students and hopefully our faculty and staff to experience the race that happens on July 5th. So shout out to Jackie. Thank you for your generosity, and thank you to NASCAR. This is, Chairman, if I think all the Future Wolves were gone by the time the trustees showed up, but this is year 3 of Future Wolves. And when we talk about making future investments in our community, Future Wolves is exactly what we're talking about. We're not investing in short-term bursts of enrollment. We're making long-term investments in the communities we serve. So I want to thank Dr. Wood on his way out. There's a new superintendent coming in at Valley View. We've got 50 Valley View rising third through fifth graders on campus, and many of you will be pleased to know that we no longer have kindergarteners as a part of our Future Wolves, because apparently they were draining the sanitizers and Thanks, Chairman. Thank you for that. But this thing has just grown. This year, ExxonMobil was our partner, donated $50,000 to, and they've had a role to play. They took pictures with us earlier. They actually did a STEM activity with cards where they built structures and tested the structures with these 3rd and 5th graders. Natalie Coleman, dear friend of JJC and her company After the Peanut, a prominent nonprofit in Joliet, has been part of this as well. Bless you, Trustee Harry. Bless you. And you'll see in the lower right-hand corner, Chairman, just a shout out to not Nettle Creek, but Morris Country Club this year. Get ready for the Namuos and the farmers to use a lot of the golf course this year. We're not going to take a straight path to the hole. We're going to use as much of the golf course as possible. And in regards to dual credit, this was a meeting of community college presidents and statewide superintendents. And so a lot of what happens, to generate the numbers that you're seeing happens behind the scenes, right? Happens at meetings at Bloomington, happens when we invite counselors to JJC for breakfast each year, happens when Dr. Brooks and our faculty leaders go out to the high schools to take the message of JJC to our partner districts. So took a picture with some of our feeder schools there. This one I'll get to later, Chairman, because this was this is one of the celebrations of success. So I'm going to linger on this for just a bit, highlight that Kainoa and his best friend Levi were there to experience this as well, and then move on. I want to thank the trustees who joined me at the ABBA event. Tiana and I, we had a great time. It was fantastic, really a celebration and of where we are as a society. And this is the annual Juneteenth CEO celebration. No, I won't say it, Trustee.
Say it.
No,
You're not gonna tell them.
no, I won't say it. You can do that in your report. The campus looks incredible, does it not?
Yes.
It looks amazing. And, in the morning, our staff is out front fixing all the damaged tiles.
Oh my God.
They're planting, hundreds of plants, and those things matter. When we host students over the summer, whether it be future wolves or older, everything speaks to our visitors on campus. So I wanted to use today to highlight our grounds crew and our custodial crew, who keep our campuses looking incredible, keep our campuses safe and clean and looking beautiful. So thank you to all of them. Celebration of success. We had 2 third place finally. I believe I mentioned previously our softball team had a historic season, finishing 3rd. Our women's golf team made their way to New York, and while they wanted to defend their national title, made us all proud, and finished 3rd in the country this year. In the entire country, mind you. Oh, darn. Did I miss it? Oh, I deleted it. Okay, so Chairman, I will go back and highlight this one right here. If you haven't had a chance to do so, and there will be multiple premieres across our district, please go see Still Bridges. It's a film, it's a documentary that was produced by our Office of Inclusive Excellence and Advocacy. Dr. Irvin took it upon herself to seek a grant that financed the production of this powerful documentary about racial discrimination, racial unrest, and racial healing in Joliet. So Jalen was the director here. You see individuals, many of whom were interviewed there. So we've got Amy Sanchez, we've got Judge Cornelius, we've got Jennifer Bertino-Tarrant, Jerron Neighbor Sr. and EC3 there, Ernest Krim III, all powerful voices. Denise Winfrey is not pictured here. She was unable to make it to this particular premiere, but she really sets a powerful tone of what it meant to be a person of color growing up in Joliet Illinois. And Chairman, that is a celebration of success. I want to wish everyone a happy quadricentennial.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 1.7, at this time, the chair is requesting a motion for a closed session under 2C1 and 2C11.
Second.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Harris,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Budzinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
This time, we're going to step out of the room. We anticipate it being approximately 30 minutes before we return. Welcome back. At this point, item 1.8, a motion to return to public session.
So moved.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Budzinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 1.9, approval of minutes for the regular meeting held on May 20th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Concern I have, I'd like to attach the transcripts on what I got censured for to the minutes. I pulled it directly off the YouTube. So that we have
Who
one.
wrote them?
It was what was dictated. I didn't have anything to do with it. Came straight off of the YouTube. They do the transcripts. It's what everybody probably
Counsel?
says.
That would not be an official transcript. So, I mean, she can trustee Broderick can ask for anything that she wants, but I would say that whatever's off of YouTube would not be an official transcript of the proceedings.
But for Brian, for what was quoted and what I said, I'd like to at least have something that shows what I didn't say, that someone said that I did say. I'd like to have this put into it.
At this point, if it's not an official transcript, we were not going to add it. Any other discussion?
No.
We are ready to vote then.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
No.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Budzinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 1.10, the approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
Second. Discussion?
You have some items to pull. Oh, that's, the agenda's fine.
It'd be the next.
Right. Well, the
Polling would be the next
No, I do have one thing to say. I do have one thing to say. There's somehow that we as trustees have to be able to get some things on this agenda. And I've been asking several times for the conflict of interest to be looked at. That needs to be on there. There's certain things that should be added that I do request, and I don't know why they don't get anywhere. It's frustrating as, you know, a trustee to be elected to do their fiduciary duties. And I think if we need things to be talked about, they should be talked about in open session. And I think this is one of them, that conflict of interest should be brought forward.
Any other discussion? We are ready to vote, please.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
No.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Lee, trustee Morales,
Yes.
trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Budzinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 1.11, the approval of consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I do have items to remove out. And when you're ready.
I'm ready.
2.11. 2.13. 2.14, 2.15, 2.16. And these I'm going to ask, when I met with Dr. Farmer and Dr. Namuo, I had asked for the numbers of what they were, the replacements, the numbers of what the old people were, the ones that were retiring. Did we produce that or not? Because that's why
No, just continue with your pulled items. Don't start a discussion.
I'm asking so they don't have to be pulled if they did it. That's all.
Just announce your pulled items, no
3.1?
discussion.
3.2.3,
3.2.3,
3.2.4. 3.6. 3.7 and 3.8.
any other trustees like to pull any items from the agenda?
I do. 2.1.2
What?
and it's, that's the only one you didn't pull.
That's the
And,
only one I didn't, yeah.
right. And then just 3.2.8. And that's it. 3.2.8.
Oh, got it.
Okay, any other items to be pulled? Okay, we're ready for the vote.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Lee, trustee Morales,
Yes.
trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Budzinski,
Yes,
motion carried.
first pulled item is 2.1.1, recommending the approval of appointment of one full-time assistant professor of electrical and electronic automated systems.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. I'm not supposed to be doing that, Nance. It's up to him. Do we have the numbers for that one of what the salary was?
We do, and we provided that information to you via email.
I'm looking at my email. I don't see it.
Okay, at this point, I will call Judy Conley
I
to
don't have
respond to
anything
your
from- I don't have
question.
anything from her. And that's
It
what
was,
I'm
it
asking.
was shared by Dr. Namuo as an attachment.
I'm looking. Because I went through all of them this morning when I saw that they came in. The only one that I've got was from Dr. Namuo. So that's the only one I have. He said all salaries and retired listed on new employees. He listed the ones I was looking for.
All right.
It was,
we'll go
it
ahead
was
and have-
attached. It was attached.
Shared it with the entire board.
Yeah, I do have it now. Sorry.
Okay, very
Okay.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussions on 2.1.1, or are we ready to vote? We're ready to vote, please, Monique.
Okay, trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Budzinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Next pulled item is 2.1.2. The recommending the approval of the appointment of one full-time assistant professor of microbiology and general biology.
So move.
Second.
And just as a comment, it looks like there's a considerable like $30,000 to $35,000 drop in the salaries. Is that what I'm seeing?
That's
Okay, thank you.
We are ready to vote, please.
Sure. Trustee Bottomley,
Wait,
That was
wait, wait.
yours.
We haven't had discussion.
No. I take back my vote.
Okay.
Are we having discussion now on
Yes.
2.1.2?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, this is the one I pulled. I'm just curious. It looks like all of these positions are on a full-time tenure track, but this one is, and this is, I don't know what it is, but that's why I'm asking. So this particular one is a temporary non-tenure. What, because all of them are the same except this one. So can you explain why this is temporary and non-tenure?
Yes, I'll go ahead and have Dr. Gray respond to that question, please.
Thank you, Dr. Farmer. So we have a current adjunct who teaches in microbiology that can fill this position, but we need this for fall. And we want to do a big, a formal search for the
Got it.
tenured track
Got it.
position.
Okay, thank you. We can-
Now we can vote.
Yep.
Ready to vote, please?
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia Guillen,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Bazinski,
Yes.
motion carried.
Item 2.1.3, the recommending of the approval of appointment of one full-time associate professor of architectural studies.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, I'm gonna say it's a $30,000 drop on this one, so it's good for the trustees to see the difference between what we had to what we're saving.
Any other discussions? We're ready to vote.
Trustee Harris.
Yeah.
Trustee Garcia Guillen,
Yes.
trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Bazinski,
Yes. Item
motion carries.
Item 2.1.4, recommending the approval of appointment of one full-time assistant professor of economics.
So moved. Second.
This is about a $45,000 savings from what it was to what it is now.
Any other discussion?
Just that all of that information is already in the email. So
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
we know.
We're ready to vote, please?
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia Guillen,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
motion carries. Trustee Bazinski, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item is 2.1.5, the recommending of the approval of appointment of one full-time associate professor of human anatomy and physiology.
So moved.
Second.
This I do have a question on, because I'm looking at the same salary, almost 101,353 to 101,322. Why so close?
Dr. Quinn. Their compensation is determined by HR and it is based on years of experience, their teaching experience and their level of education.
Okay, so when I see 13, that's their years of, is that the step that they have then? When I'm looking at what I've been provided? What we've been provided? Because I see their title, their name, I see a column says D, I don't know what that
She
means.
is on step 9 of the full-time faculty
Okay, so they're on
contract.
step 9. On step 13. So wouldn't there have been a difference in the steps?
Not necessarily because
Okay,
it's
so
also
degree-
based
degree is
on
that then?
how many years they've taught and how many, what their level of education is.
Okay, thank you.
So it can be at different levels.
Okay, I appreciate it, thank you.
Any other discussion?
Just a quick question. What day was that email sent?
Pardon me?
What day was that email sent?
Today at
6 a.m.
Oh, wow. Okay.
6:34
But
I had asked about it when I had met on Monday, so I put it into print.
It's a lot of work they have to gather, but at least you got it. So, which we always get responses. So thank you.
No, I did, thank you.
We are ready to vote on 2.1.5.
Trustee Harris,
Yes.
trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia Guillen,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Bazinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 2.1.6, recommending the approval of retirement of one full-time professor of fine arts.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, who pulled this one?
I did ask her, but I wasn't given it, so I'm not worried about it.
We're ready to vote on 2.1.6.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
Yes.
trustee Garcia Guillen,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Bazinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 3.1, approval to pay the listing of bills for the period ending May 31st, 2026 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
My question,
Discussion.
yeah, my questions are this. I'm looking at a couple different items that I'm a little confused about. Forward space for 99,298.75. Romeo events seating. Is that for us or for a chamber event? I'm seeing that we're sponsoring some chamber things too.
I'm sorry, trustee Broderick, which one?
It's under forward space.
Oh.
It says Romeoville event seating. Almost 9,300.
So trustee Broderick, once again, we did share that information with the entire board.
Okay,
And again, Forward Space is a furniture company. The board approved the purchase of new furniture for Romeoville campus on May 20th of 2026. That information was in the email as well.
Yeah, hold on. I am looking for it.
Gotta get up early.
And Chairman, that was shared with the board yesterday at 10:58 a.m.
The email was shared with the board of trustees on Tuesday, 6/23 at 10:58 a.m.
Thank you.
I do have a hard copy of this if you need this.
I'm looking for it. Hold on. Okay. Oh, it's a furniture company. Okay. For the Romeoville campus. Okay. Would this be something then that comes out of a time frame of how often you do it? As far as the life of the furniture?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. And then I see the Lake County Press is identified here. That's more additional prices for logos. Do we know how much we're up in the cost of the new logo at all? Because I know that we approved a survey of 200 for a survey that ended up being the logo. How much are we with all of the marketing changes with everything that comes out? Because I know there's in the under 5,000, there was quite a few things there that came up.
I'm going to pause here. You had a question about the Lake County Press. Let's answer that first. To get into discussion of logos is not part of this.
Yeah, it
agenda.
is.
It's not part of this.
Under Lake County.
Right, and I answered. She can answer the Lake County
So
Press
what-
one, but you're asking about costs of logos and everything else.
It
Let's
says
an-
for logo.
Let's let her answer, please.
Okay.
So once again, this information was shared with the board of trustees through email by Dr. Namuo. The Lake County Press invoices totaling $10,218 were not related to the development of the college's logo or brand initiative. This supported two separate department-funded projects, replacement tablecloths for student development and a beautification project within the social behavior science. Once again, this information was shared with the board.
I see it. I'm just trying to figure out what the difference between what's put in print on the description that says logo versus what you got. That's what I'm asking. Thank you.
Any other discussion on 3.1? We are ready to vote, please.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick. Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Bazinski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 3.2.3, Facebook advertising.
So move.
Second.
Discussion, please.
My question, Robin's still here. I know I asked you about all the different social medias. And I know that it was 50,000 for the 2 years before. And it was 2024. This is only for the 2 years again, but it seems that the prices definitely increased. Are we seeing any, as you said, hits to it that we're monitoring? I mean, is it worth it? That's what I'm asking. Because I know a lot of people are getting off of Facebook, they're going more towards the other social medias. So that's why I'm asking the question.
So really quickly, I just want to indicate that the annual spend increase reflect the increased services utilization funded by JJC's budget. So the allocation, not a price increase from the vendor. And that once again is stated in your board book.
Any other discussion? We're ready to vote, please.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 3.2.8, athletic trainer services.
2.
Yeah.
3.2.4. 3.2.4, Google AdWords.
So move.
Second.
And that's the same thing, Robin, it comes up again as Google. Are we seeing, because I know they have different sites now that you can go to that don't get all the, algorithms that bring you in and they start scoping everything out on you. Are we having good luck with that, or are we changing to another type of system like that?
At this point, we will continue to use Google AdWords.
So we're gonna keep it for another 2 years then?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Trustee
Go ahead. We're ready to vote on 3.24.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick,
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
Trustee Lee, Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now we'll move on to 3.2.8 athletic trainer services.
So move.
I don't believe that was pulled. Was that pulled by somebody?
Yes.
No, she said, no, she pulled,
I have 3.2.6.
So do I,
3.8. She pulled 3.8.
at 3.2.8.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she pulled.
Yeah, but we're
I
on
apologize. I did
3.2.6.
not hear that.
No,
I'm
we're good.
sorry.
You're
Okay,
good.
thank you.
So we're on
3.2.6?
Yes.
3.6 now.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the next one.
But I don't have 3.2.6 listed.
Oh, I
I don't either.
No,
Yeah.
3.6.
3.
Right, 3.6.
3 point, so I apologize.
Yeah.
My fault. We're on 3.2.8. Did somebody make a motion? Okay.
3.2.8 is
So-
athletic trainer services.
I asked for 3.6.
Okay, 3.2.8. That was something I have a question about.
So
We
moved.
need we need a
Oh,
motion
sorry,
first.
so moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
For clarity, which one are we reviewing right now?
3.2.8.
3.8? Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so on this one, we have, we're requesting, it looks like we're requesting a 2-year contract for ATI physical therapy in Bolingbrook for $167,272. Is that for 1 year or is that for the 2 years? So it would be 167 times 2, right?
It's
Okay.
for 2 years, Trustee Morales.
Okay, because prior to that, it looks like when it lists at the bottom,
Mhm.
term for recent purchase activity, it says for 5 years, it was 240,000. So am I understanding this right? So in the past, we paid 240,000 for 5 each year times 5 for 5 years.
No, let me clarify that for you. Give me a moment.
Sure.
Was 48,000 a year.
Got, okay. Okay. Thank you. That's what, okay, so then for the currently then we are proposing, we are being asked to vote on a 2-year contract totaling 167,272, right?
That's
Okay.
correct.
Oh my goodness, thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That's it.
Any other questions on 3.8? We are ready to vote.
3.2.8.
3.2.8.
Looked at it right.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
Trustee Harris,
Yes.
Trustee Broderick,
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
Trustee Lee, Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum,
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next item is 3.6, Board of Trustee approval of fiscal year 2028 resource allocation and management plan for community colleges.
So moved.
So move.
Second.
Okay.
Discussion.
My question is coming up. I see that it says out east, which is what the plans were initially, when we were looking at another campus with go out east. And I'm looking at the health profession expansion. Help me understand. We're just putting this on the books because it's required by ICCB? Or is there plans for this? Because that's what the previous president wanted to do, is move out east. So I'm just asking, I see that, and then I see the health profession expansion. Where would that be at?
Go ahead and allow VP
I can't hear you.
Kissel will respond to that question.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Dr. Farmer. The ramp report is required by ICCB every year. It looks out 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, I
So
was
it's
just
very future focused.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I know we removed it from one of the policies. We removed the Lincoln Way East from it. That's why I'm wondering, I see Eastern Campus, which would be our side of town, the other side of town. All righty, thank you.
Any other discussions at 3.6? We're ready to vote, please?
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item is 3.7, the Board of Trustee approval of resolution to transfer funds from education fund to operations and maintenance restricted funds.
So moved.
Okay, I know that Dr. Farmer had explained this, and Dr. Nemo had explained. Could you just, so that I have total clarification of the reason we're moving from one fund to another fund? Because I look at the purpose.
Thanks, Dr. Farmer. This transfer resolution takes the surplus at the end of the year from the O&M fund and the ed fund and transfers it to O&M restricted, so it's in our reserves. We do this every year.
Okay, then my question to you is this. If we state more that is in the budget and it comes in less for actual, are we ramping up our budget numbers for having too much in the budget amount? Because when I was looking at one, we had like 45 million budgeted, but only used about 4 million. I'm trying to understand why there's such higher amounts in the budget versus what we actually use.
Trustee Broderick, I'll jump in here and just direct the board's attention to the annual budget. I know we're not there yet, but I'll give you a specific page number. It's page number 13. And I assure you, Chairman, this is directly related to
My book, Yolanda, Dr. Farmer. Somebody's got my book.
I gave it.
Did you put it back?
So Chairman, I just want to, and for the public who might not have access to this currently, again, Trustee Broderick, it's page
Is it on
13.
the big book or the little book?
Big book, page
Oh,
13.
never mind, I got that.
Okay, so as it relates to,
Page
and I commend Jeff, I commend Karen for 13, yeah, for providing such a detailed explanation. And as VP Kissel referenced, this is an accounting activity we perform every year when we experience a surplus in either our operations and maintenance account and our ed fund. So, for the college community this year, it'll be 103 million in our ed fund and 22.6 million in our O&M fund. You combine those two together, that's 125 million. 0.7, so 125.7 million. Those are our operating accounts. That's how we operate the college. Now, when we close out the fiscal year, come June 30th, every single year, we tend to have a little bit of a surplus. That surplus goes into typically one of two places, and those are the transfers you see. Now, what might be a little bit misleading, and perhaps we'll revisit how we present this in the future. There's one big pie chart that totals 310 million. The misleading part is our operating budget is 125, will be, with the board's approval, 125.7 million. The remainder occupies the rest of the pie, but those are our reserves, and in accounting terms, those are our restricted funds. I apologize for taking a little bit longer, Chairman and Trustee Broderick, but that was.
Yeah, and I wanted that explained because when
Yeah.
we looked at the numbers and I saw what was going back and forth in both of those items, that's why when I said the third paragraph on that page is what I identify as total cost.
Yeah.
And you had a different position
Yeah.
on it. That's why I'm looking to see why we had to do that. And that's why
Yeah.
I thought it should be brought up.
No, I appreciate that. You allowed me to kind of explain the difference between each piece of the pie,
Right.
and essentially the metaphor is checking and savings.
Right. No, I
Right,
think-
yeah.
Thank you. for that.
Okay, you're welcome.
We ready to vote on 3.7?
Yes.
Yes.
Guess we're ready, Monique.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.8, the Board of Trustees approval of the resolution to transfer funds from the Operations and Maintenance Fund to Operations and Maintenance Restricted Fund.
So moved.
Second.
And this follows along the same
For,
path.
for the record, it's item 3.8, not item 8.8.
3.8? Okay, we'll
He
do
said
3.8.
3.8.
3.0.
3.8.
Three.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just making the record clear. Thank you.
So I'm just saying that's why this one is the same thing and it's
Mhm.
fund to fund. And as you addressed with the pie, part of it's the fund, part of it's the plus and the other one is the expense.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Are we ready to vote on 3.8?
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 3.9.1 is a motion to suspend rules temporary to allow for public comment on the fiscal year 2027 budget.
So move.
Second.
I'll need a roll call on this one.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
3.9.2 is we're opening a public hearing on the budget for fiscal year 2027. Item 3.9.3. Monique, do we have any public comments?
Chairman Budzinski, we do not have any public comments.
Can I ask this 3 times?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Monique, are there any public comments?
Chairman
Well,
Budzinski.
You can ask the audience if anybody would like to
Oh,
make a
is there
public.
any public comments? Very good. Please stand up. I'll call on one of you.
3 times.
Okay, board, do you have, no, is there any other public comments?
Seeing none.
3.9.4, we are going to close the public hearing on the budget for fiscal year 2027.
So move.
No, next is the motion, 3.95.
And then I have a motion to return to regular session.
Second.
Who made the motion?
I can motion
I
it.
apologize. We're out of sorts tonight.
We need.
We're on item,
Still need to.
the chairman closes the public hearing with item 3.94. Now we're on 3.95, motion to return to regular session. Who's making the motion?
I can make the motion to return to regular session.
Thank you.
Second.
And we're ready for the roll call.
Okay, trustee Morales.
Yes.
Trustee Harris.
Yes.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yes.
Trustee Broderick.
Yes.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes.
Trustee Lee. Trustee McCullum.
Yes.
Trustee Budzinski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3.9.6, the president's request approval of the administrative recommendation.
Chairman Budzinski, may I please make a motion? I would like to make a motion to approve the FY 2027 budget with a reduction of $148,750 in the contingency line item. If I get a second, I'd be more than happy to explain. If not,
What is it for?
a reduction of $148,750 in the contingency line item as was presented to us at last month's meeting, 2 months ago.
No second.
I want her to explain, so I'm gonna go ahead and second that. I'm curious.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Morales. We've talked about the budget a lot. We've talked about the process. And when we sat in finance committee, with Trustee Morales and I walking through everything, Chairman Budzinski, you were in attendance as well. I did ask, what could we do to go back through the budget, make sure that we're presenting a lean budget, recognizing the fiscal impact that we're all experiencing. As was presented to us as entire board at our May 20th meeting, one of the slides that was presented was identifying additional operating reductions. To me, I really took that as, staff and the college took what I said seriously. And it was stated that they were able to identify additional cost savings without material impacting operations. Our finance team went ahead and they looked at every single line item and they identified additional cost savings that we could actually implement without materially impacting the operations of the college. The additional 1.25%, approximately $148,750, is an operating reduction that I think shows a good faith to our constituents, to the taxpayers of this district, that we care about the tax dollars that we're spending. We're responsible stewards. And I think that being told that we were able to find an additional $148,000 of reduction and then not taking action on that is a little short-sighted. And that is a personal opinion. So that is why I wanted to bring that forward. And that is why I made the motion. So I appreciate the second and the opportunity to explain my position.
Any other questions? Yes.
Chairman, I can chime in. I appreciate the Finance Committee's partnership on this and recognize, these are all challenging decisions. Right? When we're talking about money, we're talking about, literally so many different aspects of the college. And in response directly, Chairman, to Trustee Bottomley's recommendation, if it is the board's preference, the administration can remove the $148,750 contingency from the FY27 operating budget. Doing so would result in the budget reflecting a positive operating balance. So not necessarily a precisely balanced budget. The college's financial position, college's reserves position, and ability to fund strategic priorities, if the board moves in this direction, would remain unchanged. We would remain in a very positive position. The primary impact would be administrative, really, as multiple sections, so approximately 20 pages of the budget document and supporting schedules would need to be revised and republished, which frankly is fine. The contingency was intentionally included as part of the multi-month budget development process. However, the administration can support this if the board is interested in moving in this direction.
So we have a first and a second. Can we say anything?
Yes.
I understand you're saying it would be okay if we did that, but it was put in there for a reason. So I don't know that I would support that. I mean, we're going to be okay regardless, but okay, that's all. Thank you.
Trustee Garcia, did you have something?
Trustee Broderick was next, and then I'll go after.
Trustee Broderick.
My concern is this. I'm looking at the fact the Finance Committee met and went through it. I would have loved to have heard what you guys had coming out of it because we didn't get to hear what that exchange was. And also, I know Dr. Namu and I sat down with Dr. Farmer and we went through my questions. I had a lot of them. Did any other trustees have questions about the budget?
An invitation was sent out by Chairman Budzinski for any trustee to attend or submit questions to the Finance Committee, and we received none.
But understanding we had nothing to go by in order to do that.
Understood.
So that's why I'm saying that it wasn't available. But I think, we explained last year, or we addressed it last year, we really should have a committee of the whole. And I'm looking at the things that concern me are capital improvements, which are in the capital outlays. And from what Dr. Namu shared with me is that they will be done in September in our retreat, right? We'll get that list of the capital improvements that are needed. So I'm looking at, and I told you guys before that under the 110 ILCS, under 805 7-8 and 3-
Trustee Broderick, are these comments directed toward the specific line item?
it's addressed about the budget. About the budget. I'm given.
Well, okay. The motion, okay, go ahead.
We're talking about the
It's to approve the
contingency
budget,
fund.
so I'm asking questions.
But we're talking about the contingency fund, right?
It's a motion to approve the budget as amended.
Got it.
So it's double. So I guess we can delay and adopt it up until the end of the first quarter, which would be September 30th. I just look with all the capital improvements that are going to be made. We should know about it. I've always had to know what our capital improvements were before we approved the budget, because that plays a heavy part into it. And we're still increasing the budget. I would like to see more cuts to the budget and us living within our means, because I'm a little bit concerned about the fact that we're not. And there's ways of looking at it. There's ways of having a company come in and identify any extras that we're doing that we're not aware of. I mean, I think there's a need for still more reductions. And I'll say it that way. Thank you.
You're speaking.
Yes, thank you, trustee Bottomley, for bringing it up and making the amended recommendation or request. Just following everything that has been said, I just want to make sure that I understand everything as we're getting closer to voting. Dr. Namu, you mentioned that the cuts are doable. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. When you said that there would have to be some modifications to administrative modifications, can you expand a little bit on what that means, please?
Sure. Trustee Garcia, Chairman Budzinski, Trustee Garcia. So essentially, the line item that Trustee Bottomley is referring to is referenced on 20 pages in the big budget book. So it would need to be reprinted before it were to be published. And instead of being held in contingency, it would be eliminated and the budget would show a surplus of 148,000 and change.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
And I'd also like one more thing. Can we have the?
Oh, hold on. I think everybody else has an opportunity to speak first, then you get rebuttal.
Question. Will we see much of an expense to redo this? And if we foresee it's needed, then you'd have to come back to the board and ask for the amount again, because it is in the budget now. Obviously, it was written because it was needed. So I guess my question is it an item that you won't have to ask for it again? Or is it something that it's not gonna make a big difference if we leave it in?
Thanks, Dr. Farmer. The item was calculated as trustee Bottomley suggested. We reviewed some accounts. We were able to identify expenditures that we could eliminate without impacting our operating budget. We put it in contingency to give us the flexibility to be able to use it in the future should we need to, and the budget was balanced. The expense would be the finance team and the budget team recalculating some of these amounts, reprinting the document and resending it out.
And we can't estimate that amount.
I can't estimate how many hours it would take and the production of it and then the mailing of these new books. But there is a cost associated with it. And right now it's sitting in an account that just provides us access to flexibility should we need it. And it does balance the operating budget.
It doesn't mean we're going to spend it though, right?
No, it doesn't mean we're going to send it. It's sitting in a contingency account in case we should need it.
Okay.
But we will spend it if we have to redo and pay the salaries to recalculate. Or am I
We'll
missing?
spend some of it. Yeah, there's gonna be a cost
Yeah.
to doing that.
The trustee Broderick, you had a rebuttal?
Well, I just want to add one statement. And on page 177, I think instead of identifying and separating out, it should go to one line item of 54,000 in the book. So we're not moving and having to make motions to move money from one account to another.
Are
Will you-
we
will you
on the
get the-
same thing?
Will you give that page number again, Trustee Broderick?
177. I have my pages that I know this year.
And Chairman and Trustee Broderick, that what you're referring to, I believe, is a trustee travel budget with it, which is different than the 1.225% reduction that the administration identified, totaling 148,000. I believe you're referring to two different things.
I'm referring to the trustee budget that follows in the book on 177. Because last year and the 2026 budget, we never used anything with the student trustee. It was always pulled out of the ICCTA or the actual accounts. It'd be better if it was just all lumped in one, like all the schools do. They lump it in one sum and it's line item pulled.
Point of reference, are we still on the same topic?
It's the budget.
Well, Trustee Broderick, this was not brought up by anybody else, and this is rebuttal. This is your opportunity to respond to the comments of other trustees related to what's been discussed so far.
We're ready to vote.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Morales,
No.
trustee Broderick,
No.
trustee Garcia again,
Point of clarification, this is for the reduction of 148,750, correct?
Correct.
yes. Trustee Harris,
No.
trustee Lee, trustee McCullum,
Abstain.
trustee Buzinski,
No.
motion fails.
So we need a new motion.
So 3.9.6, the president requests approval of the administrative recommendation for the fiscal year 2027 budget.
So move.
Second.
Second,
Can I kick us off?
Yes.
I appreciate the conversation about the budget. I do want to be very open and honest about this. I am in full support of a budget. I'll be voting yes on this. I think it's important that we have an established budget before we enter into the fiscal year. I also respect that I am one member of a board and we are a body. So to my fellow trustees, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for the conversation. And I'm looking forward to being a yes vote on this tonight. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mine goes back to, now can I say the page, Brian, that I wanted to say before? One page 177, make that a line item instead of individual accounting. It's easier for us to deal with as far as, since the student trustee doesn't really use their account, comes out of the ICCTA and ACCT and NLS. It'd be better if we just had it all lumped together as the other schools do. And then as far as the capital improvements, I would like to see those identified and really hold off before. So we get back to that's a big portion of the budget. And then the thing that I'm concerned about when I went through all this, and I sent you guys all the detailed emails showing you the accounts that had higher budgeting than what the actuals were. And I'm concerned about that the budget is a little bit inflated. And I did ask these questions. Is there over budgeting on the capital outlays? Is there a variance so large on the capital outlays? Were any projects delayed? And I understood there wasn't any delay. Is the budget being realistic, reflecting expected expenditures? Is capital spending being used to justify higher tax levies or fund balances? Because when you look at what we're doing, it appears that we should be a lower levy then instead of what we're doing with the max that we're doing right now. So I'm throwing that out there that the tax levy is a concern that we should be looking at. Because I've had CPAs that have talked to me and said, you guys have this much in surplus, which what's our cash reserves right now? Total?
So Chairman Budzinski and Trustee Broderick, the balance of each of our reserve accounts is provided in
I see.
your
I
book
saw
here.
that, but I'm just
Yeah.
asking the total so everybody knows what the total, because you add them all together, right?
It might be a bit misleading if we were to add all of them all together and produce them as one number. The board challenges or sets policy that the administration and the college as a whole has historically been required to maintain 25% reserves. The updated policy now requires the college to maintain a 30% reserve. So that's the number and that's the guidance that the board as a whole provides to us. So when we're transferring money and surpluses, we pay close attention to that. That's specifically in reference to the O&M restricted fund, but there are a number of other funds that we're required to maintain at specific levels in order to be self-insured, in order to satisfy our debt obligations. And those are, the savings account metaphor that I referred to
Right.
earlier on page 13, the other pieces of the pie.
So when we're looking at the balances, are we at the 20 or at the 25% now or over that?
We are over the 30%
We're over the 30,
per policy.
okay, per policy.
Yes.
And the norm is 25. So should we be doing anything to lower that, to do something with it? I mean, that's what I'm asking about the tax levy. Should we not have been lowering the tax levy then?
Chairman Budzinski and Trustee Broderick, these are great questions, right? So when you start to look at your reserve balances, there's a certain amount that is comfortable. There's a certain amount that's required by, common accounting standards. We're in a good spot right now. There's also been a time over the last 4 years where I felt, we had too much in our reserves. And what you'll notice over the last 3 years, we've worked to make strategic investments. We work very hard on our deferred maintenance projects. I highlighted several in some of my weekly emails. Additionally, I gave a shout out to grounds crew. We do a lot of construction over the summer. We replace HVAC systems. We do all sorts of things. And a lot of that is possible because we have, a robust O&M restricted fund that allows us to do some of those things when students are not on
And
campus.
this will show up then in September when you do the capital improvements. But some of those that are the large ones that you're mentioning should be in that list, right?
The board sees all projects in, on the schedule that is laid out from finance. So every expense, every expenditure we make, the board sees and authorizes.
And the last thing I was going to say.
No, wait, time. You're way beyond the time. Do we have any other trustee comments or questions on the budget?
No.
And we're ready to vote.
Trustee Bottomley,
Yes.
trustee Harris,
Yes.
trustee Broderick,
No.
trustee Garcia again,
Yes.
trustee Lee, trustee Morales,
Yes, considering that I do believe our president and his staff are very transparent in showing us all the projects that are up and coming, I feel very comfortable voting yes on this budget. Thank you.
trustee McCullum,
Yes.
trustee Buzinski,
Yes.
motion carries.
Item 4.1, first reading of board policies, 4.1.1, which is policy 01.8500, building and location identification.
Particular policy, do you all have any questions? If not, we can move on.
No.
Okay. The next one is going to be 02.01.02, nepotism. For this one, I do want to bring your attention. This is one of the policies that we updated the language to make it consistent and also expand on the policy governing the conflict of interest in relationship to interpersonal relations. Any questions on this policy?
No.
Okay. The next one is going to be the annual position review request process for an administrator, professional, or non-union employee. You might recall this is one of the policies that came up to the board, and then we agreed to send it back to make a minor modification to remove the word downward or upward, so that way if employees are this is professional or non-union employees wanted to reassess based on changes to their job description, responsibility, decision-making authority, that they could get that evaluation to determine adjustments that might be needed in their compensation, pay rate, or classification. So we made that modification and are presenting it to you all for a first reading, and then next month it will be part of the second reading. Concerns, question? Okay. The other three is going to be related to drug and just drug-free, having a drug-free school. 02.16.01, drug and alcohol testing. Again, this is consistent with our Let me take a look. Give me 1 second. With our collective bargaining agreements, any questions on this policy?
No.
Okay. Then the next one is going to be 02.16.02. Again, this one is drug-free workplace. Again, what we did for this particular policy is we went ahead and made really minor modifications. And again, this is aligned to our collective bargaining agreement as well. Questions?
No.
Okay. And then the last one is going to be the Drug-Free Schools and Communities Act. Again, we made minor modifications on this particular policy and it's aligned with our collective bargaining agreement. It's all the information in terms of discipline. It's clearly outlined in the student handbook. And it has all the information there. We made some minor modifications based on some changes or updates through the Illinois Cannabis Regulation and Tax Act. Any questions? Okay. For reference, all of the policies that are right now in front of you for the first reading are going to be coming back for the second reading next month, and that would be for your approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 5.1, representative to the ICCTA ACCT. Trustee Harris, please.
Hey. Thank you very much. The report from last month will be provided to Karen and to the secretary. And then I have a report for June. This is for June 5th and 6th. I'm sorry. The ICCTA and ACC conference focused on the vital role community colleges play in workforce development, student success, economic growth, and legislative advocacy. Trustees, educators, legislators, business leaders, and workforce partners gathered on June 5th and 6th to discuss emerging challenges and opportunities facing higher education and the communities we serve. A major focus of the conference was workforce development. Presenters highlighted the growing demand for skilled workers in manufacturing, healthcare, skilled trades, and emerging technologies. Discussions emphasized the importance of partnerships between community colleges and employers to create career pathways that align educational programs with workforce needs. Workforce training grants, economic development initiatives, and talent pipeline strategies were identified as critical tools for supporting both students and local economies. And I have a picture. This report will be given. I have a picture that shows Joliet Junior College collaborating with business and industry in the workforce environment. Student success remained a central theme throughout the conference. Sessions addressed student engagement, retention, completion rates, academic support services, and mental health resources. Participants discussed the impact mental health challenges can have on student achievement and the importance of providing supportive environments that help students overcome barriers to success. And then that kind of reminded me of Joliet Junior College how they continue to demonstrate leadership in this area through the program such as that Then Room and the Student Resource Pantry and the counseling services. So congratulations, you are doing your part to help with mental health and other student-centered initiatives. Several presentations focus on adult education and lifelong learning. Community colleges continue to serve as an important access point for adult learners seeking career advancement, workforce retraining, and new educational opportunities. Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, WIOA programs, continuing education, and flexible learning pathways were highlighted as essential resources for working adults and career changes. And I also have a picture of the students graduating I think next week or Friday, from the adult education. Tomorrow. Okay, yeah. Okay, also, there's no meetings that you can go into without artificial intelligence being discussed. So artificial intelligence was another significant topic of discussion. The speakers emphasized that while AI continues to transform education and the workplace, technology should not replace human talent. Critical thinking, communication, leadership, and problem-solving skills will remain essential for future workforce success. Community colleges have an important responsibility to prepare students to work effectively alongside emerging technologies while maintaining a strong focus on workforce readiness. So it's interesting, that one. I have a picture of two linemen on a pole, and they're on the pole and they're working with their hands, connecting the service back. This is something AI cannot do. So we'll have to stay focused on that. Okay. All right. Then trustee leadership and advocacy sessions reinforce the importance of governance, strategic planning, fiscal oversight, and legislative engagement. Trustees were encouraged to serve as visible advocates for community colleges by communicating their value to policymakers and stakeholders. Continued professional development and active participation in statewide and national organizations were identified as important responsibilities of effective trustees. The conference reinforced the critical role community colleges play in transforming lives through education, workforce preparation, and economic opportunity. So I have a picture of the board. So again, you guys will get a copy of this. I would have put it up on the screen, but time was not in my favor. But anyway, the awards ceremony was a great one. The award winners and nominees representing Joliet Junior College. So again, congratulations to Brenton Bishop, who was the winner of the Paul Simon Student Essay Contest. So we hope that maybe he will want to share that with us. We have a picture of that. And then also congratulations, nominee for professional board staff member. That would be Karen Riese, our Joliet Junior College Board Secretary. And I will say she is definitely well deserving of this, because as soon as I forget something, she will remind me. I'm like, thank you so much, Karen. Thank you so much, Karen. So she is really, really doing what she's supposed to do, especially if she's to help the trustees. And then we have congratulations to Megan Callan. I think that's the way you pronounce her name. Megan Callan, nominee for Outstanding Faculty Member. And I couldn't find a picture with her by herself. So we have a group photo of the group in attendance. And last but not least, congratulations to our business and industry partner nominee, Michael Mutter, President, CEO, and RN from Silver Cross Hospital. So those were nominees, and we thank each and every one of you who did submit nominations for the individuals, because that really helps keep the program going. It shows that their college support their individuals, and we appreciate that. So a key takeaway from the conference includes the continuation of importance of community colleges as drivers of workforce development and economic growth, and the need to prioritize student engagement, retention, and mental health support. The growing influence of artificial intelligence on education and employment, and the importance of legislative advocacy to secure resources that support student success and institutional effectiveness. So that concludes my report. thank you for listening. And again, I will have a copy of this if you'd like to see it. Thank you.
Item 5.2, trustee updates. I'll start on this side.
Yeah.
Trustee Morales.
I have no updates. Am I? No.
Yep, you're on.
Okay, no, I have no updates. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all of your hard work. And thank you, Dr. Namul, you for all you do for this college. Thank you.
Trustee Garcia again.
Yes. Just wanted to acknowledge last month we didn't get the chance to share some of our updates. So I just want to share something that I have been thinking over the last few days. So in the last few days, I have been thinking a lot about our beautiful commencement ceremony that we had last month. It was truly beautiful to watch our students celebrate their achievements during commencement with all the people who supported them along the way. I saw pride, joy, and gratitude throughout the ceremony. I also saw pride in culture, identity, and community. Our students brought their full selves to the stage, and that is something that we should continue to celebrate. Commencement reminds us that success is not achieved alone. It is built through perseverance, support, and opportunity. Tonight, we approve the budget. A budget is more than a number on pages. It is a reflection of our continuous commitment to students, employees, and the long-term success of JJC. The investment that we made today is going to help ensure that we remain accessible, affordable, and responsive to our students, our community needs. But commencement is just a celebration. It is also a challenge. The world needs more than talented people. It needs courageous people, compassionate people, people willing to step forward when others step back. Too many people spend their lives waiting until they feel ready. But leadership does not begin when you have all the answers. Leadership begins the moment you decide to step forward anyway. As we move forward, let's remember the people, and this is for our students who supported our students along the way, and also make sure that we're continuing to open opportunities for others. Share opportunities, build community wherever our students go, because success means more when it is shared. Thank you.
Love it.
Trustee Bottomley.
Yeah, just quickly, I want to say thank you to staff for the effort, for everything. The presentations today were great. They were super eye-opening. I think it helps us be better informed as trustees to make sure that we're doing our job the best that we can. I really want to say thank you to the whole finance staff and the team, because I know what it takes to put together a budget. And I just thank you, truly, because it is a huge effort. And as trustees, we only see a part of it. We don't see the hard decisions and hard conversations that happen at a staff level. But to then move it on to the Board of Trustees level, we did just accomplish what I would say is our biggest duty as trustees. We have now voted on and passed our 54th balanced budget for FY 2027. So I think, to echo Trustee Garcia again, you're absolutely correct. A budget's more than just numbers. It showcases our values. It showcases our investment. Happy that we have a passed balanced budget to move us into the next fiscal year.
Trustee Broderick.
A couple things. Did receive the education award at the ICCTA, my third education award. And it saddened me because I had many of my trustees ask me why I wasn't at the dinner since I was on the awards committee. That's why I've asked for the line item to be the line item for the trustee expense, because apparently I'm still not a good standing, which is very subjective. And according to most of the organizations around us that are over us, they're punishing a trustee and not allowing the trustee to do their elected duties. So that does bother me that it's very subjective. And I'm looking at a policy which is 01.40, which or 01.11.00 trustee development, because I keep bringing up about the gifts of the trustees that go to the events. And I know Dr. Namuo had the AABA up there. I didn't know anything about it, wasn't included for 2.5 years. I haven't been included in any of these things. And it's really sad because in Illinois, the core laws regulating the ethical conduct and activities of public officials are the State Officials and Employees Ethics Act and the Public Officer Prohibited Activities Act, which is very concerning because we are not in Illinois as a public official. We cannot legally use public office to secure special privileges or exemptions for any family member or for themselves. And if we look at what those expenses are of the ones that I've talked about on conflict of interest, those things should be looked at. Gift ban falls into place. And Nancy, I'm going to ask you because I went to your policy meeting and anything that I brought up, I didn't hear anything brought up or talked. So I don't know if it was worth my time to go or not, but you need to look at conflict of interest. And because of what we're doing with the other things, we are violating a couple of policies, which is 01.400 and 2.01.10 by not looking at these things and dealing with them. And there are things that need to be done and changed. And it saddens me that we raised the tuition for the students. And that was what, $2 per, which is supposed to equal 200. And then we do the logo, which is 200. I really feel bad for the students that they're basically getting fined for doing something that if I had known the survey had anything to do with it, I would have not voted for that survey or logo change. And I'm concerned about air travel, airfare. We're supposed to all be using the lowest airfare, no matter who we are. If you want to do higher up, that's your choice, but you have to pay for it to the college. So I'm bringing that up because there was a lot of travel expenses in the budget that were definitely increased severely. And I think all of you that voted yes for that budget should be looking at all the travel expenses. And with that, thank you for your reports. Includes my statements.
Trustee Harris.
Yeah, I just want to add a couple more things. In regards to the awards committee, as a trustee, I am also representative, as you know. And there are awards that are given out specifically right within our organization, ICCTA. And there is an award they give out for, they call it Education Award. So depending on how many times you've gone to the training and the education development, then you will get an award. So 15 or more, and then 25 sessions. Then they calculate how many one time, 2 times that you've gone 15 times, or 3 times that you've gone 15 times. I received my first one about maybe a year ago, and I had gone to, I think, 5, and I was very proud of that. So Trustee Broderick had gone, this is her 3rd award. So 45 hours, which indicates that she has gone, and that it is something that the trustees should, again, I mentioned in the report, that you should go if you can. We know that there are some people don't have the privilege to be retired like some of us. You know, they still have to work. But if you can, they highly encourage that. And I also received a acknowledgement and a thank you for working on the awards committee. And I really, really appreciate working on the awards committee because you get to see so many talented individuals in the community colleges throughout the state of Illinois. And again, it was a pleasure to do that. And also, let's see. Oh, and congratulations to our president for being the best dress at the ABBA banquet, thanks to obviously Tiana. And I have to brag. And I have to brag on my store, the bling bow tie. So he did purchase it there. So I think that did make a pretty good outfit you had. And with that, I want to commend each person in your team for working on that budget. I know dollars that I worked with in my store, I couldn't take them too far, but it was still a challenge of where to put them. So I know that you guys did the best that you could, and I feel very comfortable about the future of the numbers in which you guys have prepared. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Trustee McCollum, do you have anything to add?
I do. I just have a couple updates. Friday, I will be attending a leadership conference down at Eastern University with the Department of CMOS department here on campus. So I'll be leaving out Friday morning for that. I also like to make a comment about what Trustee Broderick said about not the budget. I mean, the tuition increase. I was part of the focus group that Trustee Britt Bishop was set up with student government, and we did come to understanding, and that's why we were in favor of it. And I was also in favor of it. Thank you.
That brings us to 5.3, which is the chair report. And I know you guys are so used to me just adjourning and running from the meeting at this point, but we're actually going to do a little talking today. All right. So Amanda mentioned earlier about the Night of Stars coming up in September 1st. And I asked her earlier tonight that would it be possible for me to show this slide? The Night of Stars has some awards that are given out every month or every year. And when we look at the names that get these awards, we know who JD Ross is. He's a great friend of the college. I've met him at many dinners, sat next to him. He's got a lot of history that we're all familiar with, and some of the people in this room have firsthand knowledge of it. We all know Dr. Judy Mitchell, who many of us, I started my position on the board here working for her. She'd been around the campus for 25 years or more. Everyone knows Judy. But when I looked at Susan Wood with the Hall of Fame award, I didn't know who Susan Wood was. So we're going to talk a little bit about Susan Wood here. Susan H. Wood Hall of Fame Award was established to recognize a alumnus of Joliet Junior College who is a current or former faculty member, administrator, or friend who has served Joliet Junior College in an exceptional way. Susan H. Wood organized and fostered the growth of the Joliet Junior College Alumni Association. This award is presented at the annual Night of Stars, formerly Alumni Brunch. So I want you, when you're there this September and this award is announced and Amanda shared who's going to get it this year with Miss Christy Mulvey, I want you to know a little bit more about Susan Wood. This is from March of 2024. Our next Women's History Month in March of 2024 would feature Susan H. Wood, one of the first, if not the first, woman to work in JJC administration. And it goes on to explain a little bit about her. On that, you'll see there's a little book she wrote. A friend of mine has actually given me a copy of the book. Well, he's loaned a copy of the book to me. This is the book called The People's Legacy, A History of Joliet Junior College from 1901 to 1984. And I can tell you it's quite fascinating. We hear a lot of stories about being the first junior college, but what else do we know about it? So I showed the book to Dr. Dumeau and he said, hey, this is a signed copy. There's a dedication right on the cover. Well, when I look at this cover, it says to Max Custer. How can I ever forget you and all you've done for JJC, Susan H. Wood? Well, we have an ag center named after Max Custer. This book was given to him by Susan H. Wood. And here's a little article, JJC Ag Building to be named after Neponset's Max Custer. The family is from Kewanee initially. If you look at that big arrow, right on the arrow on the right, it says Custer founded the first community college ag program in the state of Illinois at JJC in 1954. And then if you look at the bottom of the left column, it was former JJC President J.D. Ross who suggested to the Board of Trustees that the current A building be named in honor of Custer. So you see a lot of that, those names that are part of the awards we give out at Night of Stars. The birth and nurturing of an idea. Two men who were to play important roles in the early development of Joliet Junior College arrived in the Chicago Joliet area in the early 1890s. Dr. William Rainey Harper, and we've heard this name forever when we talk about our history and how it started. But look at in 1892, he came here to become the first president of the new University of Chicago. Keyword first. He also worked with Stanley Brown, who was the principal of Joliet High School. And there's some more information on that page, but I want to skip ahead and I'm going to ask you a trivia question. I know Robin had trivia question earlier and I was going to play on to her question, but What was the first course offering at JJC? Now think 1901. What was the first thing we offered? Dr. Gray probably already knows and can tell us exactly what it was. But and before I answer, I want you to begin noticing all of the first, the forward vision, design thinking around the successes of JJC students and everything JJC has always stood for, and the amazing history from 1901 that now continues into this culture. In this book, it also talks about back in the 1930s, I believe it was 1939, that there was a newspaper that had its first publishing day, and it was called the Blazer. A lot of people don't know the history of the Blazer, and it's a shame Dr. Marsink isn't here because I, could have got another award from him. But so when we talk about first, and I'm going to go back to something Trustee Garcia-Guia said a little while ago about the people who crossed our stage. When we look at all the firsts that we have here, from everything we do, from the campus, the staff, everything, what are we doing it for? It's for all the first generation students that came across the stage for the first time. Think of the pride in their family seeing a son or a daughter or a brother or sister crossing that stage, something no one might have ever done in that family. That's why we do all these firsts. Continuing on, top of the vision, Dr. Harper was a man of action. When he assumed the presidency of the University of Chicago, he immediately separated the first 2 and last 2 years into academic college and university college. I find it interesting that we are now in a spot where we want to take a junior college and make it a 4-year degree college when our founder made it a 2-year college. But what vision he had back, and this was in 1898, I believe, 1892. If you read this page a little bit further, he thought and he felt that higher education started in your junior year of high school. Where does that come into play now? Think of where we're at now. What has changed? We now have dual credits, advanced placement classes, 12 by 12 by 12. So we are still doing what was basically forecasted back then as the right thing to do for our students. Now, these initiatives come with some pain, some heavy work up front. But again, it's so that when our students finish JJC, according to Dr. Rainey Harper, they've already had 4 years of higher education. And what are they doing that for? They are now well suited to go out into the workplace, earn a very good living. I know a lot of people that make 6-figure salaries off of associate programs here at JJC. They are there. We talked earlier about, the cybersecurity lab. Think of what opportunities exist for those people coming out of those programs. They're well needed, and JJC is at the front of educating those people. Going on, the influence of Dr. Rainey Harper on Stanley Brown. Authorities credit Rainey Harper with being the father of the junior college idea, but to Stanley Brown belongs the distinction of having developed a successful and continuing program of postgraduate work, which ultimately became known as Joliet Junior College. I asked Kurt Ward earlier tonight, was there going to be any English professors, history professors, or anything else in the room? And I told him I did my best at citing the pages of the book that I got this out of. So and he informed me that. He said, if I delay this board meeting until after 9 o'clock, officially no staff's on the floor to grade my paper. So it's after 9, I won't be graded on this. So what was the first course offering at JJC? A 2-year course for the training of elementary teachers is listed in the minutes of the July 22nd, 1901 board meeting. Also, little side note there, I was not there. The growth of the college. We look at today, Dr. Brooks spent some time with us earlier in this meeting, and we talked about enrollment, percents graduating, retention rates. Guess what? It's not a new problem set. It's the same problem set. Just some of the solutions are a little bit different, but the same focus they had back then, we have right now. And I pulled this particular graph because 1919 to 1928 is 100 years ago. So in 1926, the enrollment was 197 people that fall. Or that might have been the spring. The fall started at 207. Needless to say, 20% of those were graduating. I'm pretty sure their commencement was way less in time than ours normally is. Yeah. Uh, But, but this is the page where this book came to an abrupt stop for me. To be successful in developing innovative programs, an educational leader must have the support of his Board of Education and a strong faculty. Fortunately, Brown had both, a group of highly intelligent men who were keenly aware of the importance of education to the progress of the community and nation, and an outstanding faculty. So I have to ask everyone in this room, what is our current state? Does Dr. Numuo have both? I would argue that we have an outstanding faculty, we have an outstanding administration, but I would lose the argument if I tried to say the same thing about the board. Last month was an ugly board meeting, such as that Trustee Bottomley motioned to adjourn it before we completed it, probably with real good insight. But we were not in a spot where we were conducive or constructive as a supporting board that night, and we haven't been. And Trustee Bottomley called us out on it. So I want to show you what the results of board behavior can be like. This is an article from Inside Higher Ed from May of 2026. Clemson poached Michigan State's Kevin Gushkowitz, who noted board dysfunction in his parting message. Look at this next sentence. His exit comes shortly after he was offered $1 million raise to stay. And he decided that dealing with his present board was not worth $1 million. So if I go all the way back a couple slides, what is our current state? And there's more about this. One of the most notable aspects of Gushkowitz's departure is it was not driven by money. His decision highlighted how deeply he was frustrated by the board's internal dysfunction, divided by factions, personal agendas, ongoing conflicts that made it difficult to focus on the university's mission. Rather than remain in a highly compensated position while navigating continual board disputes, he chose to accept Clemson's offer. Not only did he turn down $1 million, but he also agreed to a pay cut to leave the position he was in. For many observers in higher education, the episode underscores a broader lesson. Board dysfunction can drive away talented leaders just as surely as financial problems can. I applaud the fact that we approved our budget today. We do not have the financial problems, and I don't even know if Michigan State did at this time, but when we look at reasons presidents move, I would venture to say a lot of it has to do with the board. And I would also say a lot of the people in this room are highly talented and could walk away from this institution and find a very good job with no problem whatsoever. That is why the doors are all locked. You're not leaving. So what is our current state? And I ask everyone this in the room because you're all here every month. You know what our current state is. And I mean, I have a couple pages of notes that I had written regarding Michigan State, but I want to go on to stay with us. We're done with Michigan State for a little bit. Part of what I see as a problem with our board is our board fails to separate oversight versus operations. This board created the EVP position to enable our president to go out into the community and interact with stakeholders, community leaders, and political representatives. Dr. Numo has greatly enhanced the image of JJC. The college recently received a commitment of 8 figures to develop and build a new workforce training model, a grant that only exists because of the leadership of Dr. Numo and his cabinet. Yet one trustee continues to scrutinize everything he does in spite of the continued success of his outreach. Last week, I was approached by a business leader while we were at the event in Morris, who asked how he could work with JJC in establishing a workforce skill development program for a rapidly growing field. I was able to introduce him to Dr. Numo. Surprisingly, Dr. Numo was already behind the scenes working with other people from his organization and already had a planned visit to one of his facilities. But needless to say, the gentleman saw my name tag and came right to me and said, hey, how do I get to work with JJC? Tuesday of this week, just yesterday, I received another email from a community member asking for contacts to discuss a collaborative project. JJC continues to be a strong partner in the community. And I go back to the top of that paragraph where we have our president who has greatly enhanced the image of JJC, being out in the public, being out visiting with these stakeholders, being out visiting with political representatives when we're asking for money or trying to restore funds that have been taken away from us. We have a president that's out there doing the same thing, but yeah, we have a trustee that says, well, I want his calendar. I want to know what he's doing at all times. Why? We have successes that are coming out of what he's doing. Why are we going to micromanage him? Micromanaging and listing the bills each month in spite of the process for expense approval. We have it right in our book. We've called our finance people up here multiple times to explain why we have items in our bill, who approved them or what. So I want to ask all of you, are we accusing someone of not following the process? I don't think so, because we put people on the spot and we've gotten the answers we should have gotten. Are we accusing staff of fraud? Why are we micromanaging the list of bills? We know it takes money to operate the college. We know that expenses year over year with inflation and everything goes up. Why are we questioning that they went up? Now, if they double and triple, absolutely. We want to talk to somebody, but guess what? You have enough people on this flow chart that tell us exactly where the approvals come from and how they get there. We just don't see somebody with the ability to put a high dollar item on the listing of bills, but yet we're going to scrutinize it anyway. The request of information and data that isn't modeled to her liking. Ask for return on investment on things that can't be measured by anything but enrollment. Robin's report this morning or this beginning of this meeting on marketing was a perfect explanation of this. We were up all night working on that report, by the way. No, I had nothing, but it fit in well with what I'm saying here is if we let the processes and the people here that do the job complete the job without oversight, scrutinizing everything they do or asking for another report, or I want it this way and it's got 5 columns, I want 6. We're never going to get any farther. Fails to abide by and accept approved policies. Asked every month to revisit policies that the board approved, outlining consequences for censures and code of conduct. Failure to recognize the impact of behavior on the reputation of JJC. We have newspaper articles talking about our board. 2 Joliet Junior College trustees create a hostile atmosphere for the president. One thing I didn't see in the book is anywhere in here that a president had to file a grievance against his board. That's one of the first we can't be proud of. Our president had to file 2 grievances against his board. We had a legal analysis come out. We weren't able to investigate it on ourselves. We took guidance from our legal representative who said that you have to go outside and do this the right way. Now that the grievances exist, we need to have either corroborating evidence against or for what Dr. Numo was asking for. So if I go all the way back to the result of this, which is on our board website, and we go back to the question I asked earlier, does Dr. Numo have the support of everyone in this room and everyone on the board? You can answer that yourself. This article is just from 2 weeks ago, censored for the 18th time. I mentioned last month's board meeting. Comments made at the last board meeting before the final 2 censure votes were taken. Later questioning the value of additional censures, Bottomley said, now this is coming right out of Felix Sarber's article in the May 22nd Herald News article. Bottomley said, they haven't stopped anything. What's going to be learned from this? Absolutely nothing. Is anything going to change? No. It's 10:50 p.m. We are on the first censure. We're going to do this 2 more times. Trustee Harris, explaining her vote against the censure, said, since this is just another censure to the 12 we already have, I mean, it doesn't matter. I would say no because the others would still stand. So what is our current state in this boardroom right now with this board and this president and this staff? It's critical. JJC is at risk of losing the president, the EVP, or any member of the staff at any time. You guys know your value. You know what's out there. We go to ACCTA events and there's a table down the hallway of all the vendors and there's a table that is there for all the schools recruiting a president. It has a lot of people standing around it at all times. The troubling situation extends far beyond the board itself and affects every member of the college's leadership team. Month after month, we publicly recognize strength, professionalism, and dedication of our cabinet and administrative leaders, acknowledging the tremendous contributions they make to the success of this institution. Yet, despite these expressions of appreciation, we have a board that appears willing to risk losing these talented individuals by tolerating behavior and governance practices that undermine their ability to lead effectively. An institution cannot thrive when its leadership is continually subjected to unnecessary interference and dysfunction. The greatest of greatest asset of any college is its people, and it is both ironic and deeply concerning that we celebrate their accomplishments by failing to provide the stable and supportive environment necessary to retain them. There are approximately 100 presidential searches taking place right now. This board has to understand the consequences of losing a president, the costs associated with an executive level search firm, and the possibility that we may not find a quality replacement. We had Pam Fisher tell us a couple of years ago, don't worry, if Dr. Numola leaves, you'll find another president. He won't be a good one, but you'll find one. There'll always be someone willing to take the job. And there's going to be a college out there willing to take all of you. So with that, I have another document to read here. To the members of the Board of Trustees in the Joliet Junior College community, after 4 years of serving as chairman of the Board of Trustees, I have made the difficult decision to resign from my position effective tomorrow, June 25th of 2026. It has been an honor to work alongside dedicated trustees, administrators, faculty, staff, and students in advancing the mission of Joliet Junior College. During my tenure, I've been committed to strengthening governance, establishing sound policy, providing strong leadership, and ensuring that the board fulfills its responsibility to provide oversight while empowering the administration to carry out the daily operations of the college. Effective governance requires mutual respect, accountability, and a clear understanding of the distinction between oversight and operations. Unfortunately, repeated efforts by Trustee Broderick to involve herself in operational managers and micromanage the administration have undermined those principles. Equally troubling has been her unwillingness to accept responsibility for the conduct that has resulted in numerous censures by the board. Meaningful progress is impossible when accountability is absent and poor behavior is repeatedly excused rather than addressed. While I remain hopeful that that change would occur, and you saw one of my fellow trustees said she doesn't expect anything to change, it has become apparent that some members of the board have resigned themselves to accepting this conduct as a status quo. I cannot, in good conscience, continue in a leadership position where expectations of professionalism, accountability, and respect for governors have eroded to the point that they are no longer consistently upheld. My decision is not made lightly. I remain deeply grateful for the opportunity to serve this institution and proud of the policies and initiatives we have advanced over the past 4 years. I firmly believe that Joliet Junior College's future is bright and that its success depends upon a board that embraces collaboration, accountability, and a shared commitment to governance rather than individual agendas. Unfortunately, I am not the first person to resign from this board either. That's another first I don't get to have because we lost Jake a couple years ago because of board dysfunction. We have no idea the truth of why Dr. Mitchell left. Those of you who know her can ask her, but from what I heard, it had a lot to do with board dysfunction. I leave with the appreciation for those who have worked tirelessly on behalf of our students and community and with sincere hope that the board will recommit itself to the principles necessary for effective leadership. Respectfully, Jim Budzinski. Told you don't want me doing chair reports.
Chairman Brzezinski, I would like to be recognized.
Sorry?
I say I'd like to be recognized. Recognized.
Yeah. Yes.
I just want to direct the attention of trustees to our name tags and look at the message out on it. It says our students are watching. And at the end of the day, this is what we do. What we do is for our students. And we need to be acting right because our eyes are on us. And yeah, that's what I got to say.
May I be recognized? Over the last almost 6 years, I've come to value our relationship. When you first started, we didn't know each other and it wasn't always an easy start, but I learned a great deal from you and I'm really saddened for this decision. There have been many times that I've relied on your judgment and your steady hand. Thank you for that. Leading a college board is never simple, and our board has certainly had its challenges. Through it all, you've brought dedication, patience, and a deep commitment to the college. Thank you for that. I want you to know that I will miss working with you. And thank you for everything you've done for this college and for those of us who have had the privilege of serving alongside you. But I also want to thank your wife, because service at this level is never an individual effort. And I want to thank Dr. Namo and also his wife and my husband and all of our partners here. The support and sacrifices made by our spouses and partners and families are often unseen, but they matter greatly. And we are better because of your leadership, Chairman Basinski. And I'm personally better also for the opportunity to have worked with you. So I want to wish you and your wife all the best in the years ahead. And I'm really sad that it's come to this. I felt like doing that many times, but I just, I still have some energy to keep giving, I guess. Maybe I'm a masochist, I don't know. But I understand completely. But thank you for everything you've done.
With that, the chair requests a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, we don't do a roll call for.
Not for adjourn.
Voice vote.
We're done. We're adjourned. I banged the gavel one last time, but you know, I don't like the gavel, so.
We're signing them now.